Hey, welcome everyone to a new tier ranking. We're doing the tier rankings again. They're always great and fun to do. And we got Claudio's main army here today. I'm pointing right up at him.
Pointing right up at him.
You're above
Eldar
me.
today. I am above you. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, Eldar. The thing is, this is a huge tier ranking list.
Yes. From my count, not including Forge World, not that there's that much left, there's 66 data sheets.
Crazy. Which is fine.
It's a lot of
through
options.
all of them. They got rid of a lot because Forge World has been scrapped, so they're all basically legends. We're not doing the Titans because let's be real, you're not going to take them in a competitive game, unless something changes that I don't know about. So it's just going to be whatever's left. What makes it really big is the Yncarne stuff, and then of course Space Clowns. So there's a little bit more. Plus, they have a big codex in general. So
you can see some of them right there. Like they included Space Clowns, Space Evil guys, or Evil Elves.
Guys. Yeah,
I'd call them Evil Elves, but all elves are evil to me. So
no, Craft World. I guess so. They hate humans. So we're gonna start with characters first. Besides that, let's talk a little bit about the week. Marcello's in here. Beautiful. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
We're gonna start talking shortly. Just talk about the week, and we're not gonna spend 5 minutes per unit on this one, guys, because it's gonna be like a 3-hour video. We can't really do that. We're gonna go over the good units. I'm gonna cover all the ones that you should be taking, the ones that are gonna be very useful to you. There's a lot of different detachments. So one unit might not be good in a specific one, but I'm going to rank them fairly. So like, I'm not going to just judge them because they don't fit in a you need list or they don't fit in a war host unit. There's other detachments you can take for them.
Really?
But it doesn't necessarily, there's like Wind Riders are pretty damn good in the Wind Rider detachment. But at the end of the day, I'm going to look at it overall as a Wind Rider detachment going to be competitive as one of the other detachments, so I have to rank it fairly, but I'm not going to like just deny them because they don't fit in the top detachments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like do you just shun a unit because it doesn't work in Bridgehead? Could work in another detachment.
I would look at it overall, like how is this data sheet on its own and how is it buffed up by like good detachments?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me know how the audio is. I want to make sure there's no surprise echo this time for me.
Audio sounds fine to me. Nobody's complaining yet.
But
there's always time to complain about Anthony's audio.
Look, the webcam always surprises me.
What's that?
The webcam always surprises me. Yeah. Guido's
in the chat too. We have all the Europeans here and South Americans. Marcello's from Brazil.
Yeah.
Right? So all the way from Brazil.
This year. It's great.
Wait till the World Cup starts and all the Italians and Brazilians will start fighting.
Oh, then we're gonna fight with them, yeah.
Okay, my buddy's actually my buddy Peter's actually half Brazilian and half Italian, and he said that their family goes to war during the World Cup.
When I go to a Peruvian friend's house for World Cup or any cup,
so they're never in the World Cup.
Yeah, I know, but it's always just funny going there and it's like watching the teams they go for, especially when their team's out.
Well, Peru's never in the World Cup. Who does he go for? Probably Colombia or something.
Yeah, but they also have the South American Cup.
Yeah,
that was fun to watch because they got excited.
Yeah, South American Cup is usually dominated by Brazil and Argentina, though.
And they hate Argentina.
Argentina is amazing. I love watching Argentina and Brazil play. Like, of course, they're enemies of Italy, but I enjoy soccer, so football. Of course, that's what you call it, football. So if you enjoy that, those are the good teams.
We're gonna be here all day like this.
It's okay. Engagement. People are coming in. We're just waiting for Lucas to come and make some comments. Maybe Rami. No, Rami doesn't like 40K right now, so we're not gonna see him tonight. Anyways, it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday. We got to mention that St. Patrick, before we start, is Italian.
Yeah, it's our holiday.
He's Italian.
I should have celebrated.
St. Patrick is Italian, so he's not Irish. So just remember that St. Patrick's Day is Italian. Let's start with the tier ranking. First unit is Asurman.
I hope you know all of them because I think I got them in the right order, but some are hard to tell what they are. Like I might have confused the Crimson Fighter and the Hex Wraith Walk.
I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't
the Flyers.
English.
I don't know which one's which.
Oh, we got. Stop having me making new accounts here. Too long of a name. You got to shorten that up. You got to just call them like stop.
Hello twice.
Hello. Okay, so Asurman.
Yes.
He used to be very good. He used to be broken.
There's a reason he got nerfed immediately.
Yeah, well, I mean, he deserved it. He went from being absolutely taken to he's okay. I'll give a little foreshadowing here. Dire Avengers are dog shit, so you're not going to take him with Dire Avengers. I don't think you need them in any detachment. They're really not good. They're not good at all. They have a weird rule as well. Asurman's good. Like, one thing, you're not going to put him with Dire Avengers because it's just going to be a waste of points. I've seen people do this.
They're tokens.
I've seen people put,
They're tokens. They let him do automatic devs.
Yes, but that is not as good anymore because he devs on 5s.
Yeah, but the token lets you make it a 6.
Huh?
Yeah, the Shrine token lets you make a wound roll on automatic 6.
No, but I'm saying that's only 1. But before he was doing it on 3s, it was a lot better.
Yeah, with 3s was insane. Or was it 2s? It was insane.
It was 3s. I think was it 2s? That's ridiculous.
I mean, you have the codex.
I think it was anti-infantry. I have it here. Let me see.
Yeah, let's see how much they nerfed it, because right now it is anti-infantry 5+.
Go over how nerfed he was. How badly nerfed? If it was 2s,
he's 135 points, and he's toughness 3
he's way overcosted. He's way overcosted. I was going to bring that up as well. He's way too many points.
Holy shit.
Anti-infantry 3+. No, 2+ would have been absolutely absurd. But like I said, he's decent. You're not going to have him. Like I was saying before, you were saying your point. People are taking him now in a Falcon, popping out on his own, not attached to the unit, with Reapers, and just to dish out a bunch of damage. Yeah, and like pop something. But I mean, you're gonna waste that. There's Fire Dragons. There's so many more better things you can do. I don't like that combo personally. There are things you can do with him. I still think he's a good character on his own. I wouldn't point sync Dire Avengers. If you want to do that, go ahead. It's going to be a big point sync, especially because he's 135 points, like Anthony mentioned. I think if you're going to run him on his own to do some mortals, because when you pop his ability, you're doing 3 damage. They turn it to dev wounds. You can kill Terminator equivalent type units. It's only AP1, so if you're going into Terminators, they're going to get a 3-up save. If they're in cover, they're getting a 2-up. You're not going to kill them unless you're doing devs. So he's decent. He can dish out a little bit of damage. I still have him as a strong character. I don't have him in tournament standard anymore at all.
You still have him as strong? Let me ask this. How many points is 5 Fire Dragons?
110.
Why? So if you just want to go out and kill some Terminators, wouldn't they be better?
Fire Dragons are really good. I mean, yeah, you can put wasting Fire Dragons into that is, I wouldn't do that, but you could. Yeah, Fire Dragons would definitely do some damage into infantry. They don't get their rerolls. Remember that. You lose all that.
But it feels like they would do the job you want him to do cheaper and better.
Like I said, he's a strong character for depending on what kind of build you're doing, depending on what kind of detachment you're doing. He doesn't work in Unid from my
you can't take epic heroes
list. You can't take him exactly. He doesn't work in Warhost maybe, but I'd say strong. He's going to be, just to give you a little more foreshadowing, he's going to be closer to the bottom of strong. But he's not. I wouldn't put him into a B tier because he is a pretty good character. It's his pricing that really turns me off. If he was like 100 points, I think a lot more people would take him. But 135, when they nerfed him pretty badly, I don't think it's fair. 135 for what he did before, I could understand, but not now. He's nerfed too hard.
I'm spoiling myself a bit on the next one. I already like it better than Asurman.
Oh, absolutely. Like, first of all, you could take what are you talking about, the Altark on
yes, foot? Because it actually has a game-wide buff, while Asurman only buffs himself or the unit he's with.
Yeah.
For 135 points.
Yeah, so like you can reroll your agile, what are they called? Agile maneuvers. You get to reroll that.
Reroll?
If I'm not mistaken, what?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you get to reroll your agile, which is really good because that's the only way you can really do that. Um,
It's the
and
other thing I'm looking at.
once per battle, you can use this ability. He reduces the cost of CP. You're not gonna. I mean,
That's
are you gonna
really
put
good.
him?
Free CP?
You can put him with Dark Reapers. You can put him with like Fire Dragons if you really want to. I wouldn't do any of this. I still think he's a decent character. Like, you know, rerolling any rolls made for that, like you can just give them an agile maneuver and reroll it is really nice. I still think he's a strong character. Like, I wouldn't put him in tournament staple.
No,
Like,
I
I
like
don't
him
think you
better than
have to
Mastermind.
take him.
That's the main thing.
In certain detachments, he runs really well.
Claudio, you got to defend your faction. You're already getting hate. The faction's getting hate.
For what?
Being Eldar.
Yeah, you know what? Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, players don't know how to deal with armies that don't interact with you, and that's why, things happen. So, like, here's what you have to understand with Eldar. If you haven't played the game, if you've only joined in 10th edition, 9th edition, Eldar are paper, and they go down very quickly. So if they don't have shenanigans and movement abilities, it's not gonna be fun to play them. You're gonna step all over them. They need to be able to move around you. They need to be able to do that stuff. Thematically, it works because that's what they do in 40k lore, as well as that's really what the only thing the army has. Unless you want to go back to 10th edition, the beginning of 10th edition, where we just mortal spam you, which I think is very boring.
That was.
I'd rather have a player. And listen, you need to be a good player to play Eldar. You have to know how to do the shenanigans. Like, things work with timing, right? Like, things, and I like, first of all, just to defend the Eldar, the agile maneuver stuff is, I think, toned properly. Like, 4 agile maneuvers, and you can only use 4 per turn. You can waste through those really, really fast because there's so many good ones. The +2 move, the reactive move for your, a unit that gets shot. There's a lot of things you can just spoil it, like use it all on, right? Especially, no Overwatch. You can go through 4 like that. So, the ability to get, because the Autarch here, does he give you extra agile maneuvers?
No, just re-roll that one.
Oh, it's the other one that does
There's
that.
There's a detachment that gives you more.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the skill gap between a really good Eldar player and a normal Eldar player is massive. Like, if you're not great with Eldar, they fall apart easily. If you're great with Eldar, it's a pain in the ass to fight.
If you give an Eldar army to a average 40k player, they're going to be like, how is this army good? They're not going to know the ins and outs of all the nuances how to play Eldar, because you get shot to shit when you play Eldar if you don't know what you're doing. And I'm going to go over some units that are basically useless now because of the movement shenanigans not being able, like, we're going to go over it. I'll talk more about it, but the reason why you're losing to Eldar and they're really making you feel bad when you play them is because you're playing against a really good player. If a player is beating you with an Eldar list, it's not because it's broken to that level, because I don't think Eldar are broken to that level. I think they're a really good army, but you have to know what you're doing with it. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the tier ranking. Autarch, I'm going to put him at the top of strong right now. He probably could fit into tournament standard for some people's list, but I got him at the top of strong.
Which way did we say was top again? To left is better or right is better?
The left is better.
Perfect.
Closer to the strong. We read in English, not Japanese.
Yes.
You read left to right. So some people might do it backwards. You got it in top strong?
Yes.
Autarch, what's the next one? Autarch, Weight Leaper. The Weight Leaper. He got nerfed.
It's not Autarch with wings. Is it basically an Autarch with wings?
He's a little bit different. He's got different abilities. At least you did it in order here. I can just go through the app and look at all the stuff. It's good. He's faster.
Yeah, you told me to put in order. 14
He's 14
movement?
inches. Yeah, he's Eldar. He's 14 inch. He's got wings, so he's 14.
I'm too used to Eldar. Like, I'm not used to Eldar speed. It's nuts. Weapons
wise, he got the same loadouts that he can bring as the Autarch on foot. His abilities change. He's got deep strike as well. He loses his lone op, which is huge, and he loses one of the things people took him for, regeneration of CP.
And Autarch
can't do that anymore. Autarch with wings used to have lone op, Anthony.
Oh, you're talking about in the past. Okay.
Yes. Are you listening?
No, I thought you were talking about from Autark. Like I thought you were saying
I said
giving him
I
wings.
said what the Autark with wings lost was
Yeah.
Lone Op, which was really good. Why people took him, they would hold him on his back put him on his back objective, and he would regenerate CP. Does not do that anymore. Now on a 3+, you gain 1 battle focus token, which is good. Like getting another. We just spoke about it. 4 is not enough. Like if you could get 5, is great. He has to lead a unit to get that though. Each time you're spending battle focus token, unit performs an agile maneuver. Reroll it on a d6. On a 3+, you gain 1 battle. You get it back.
That's a little weird. So he has to lead someone for that.
It is, and for him to be with somebody, he's fast, right? Like you're gonna put him with swooping hawks, maybe, like to keep up with him.
He could join warp spiders as well. That's weird.
Yeah, he's really fast. He's not going to keep up. Putting him with warp spiders would be ridiculous because he can't keep up with them. But with swooping hawks, it would make more sense. I'm not saying he's unusable, but I'm going to put him in like situational. He does reduce the usage of CP as well as the other Autark does. I do like the Autark on foot a lot better though.
I do. It's only a 5-point difference though, which is
it's not the points. It's just what he can do. The Autark on foot.
I think if you have 5 points left and you have an Autark, it might be worth it upgrading to this guy.
It's the units that he can go with. It's like I'm not going to put him with swooping hawks because swooping hawks are going to be doing like shenanigans, and if we'll talk about it later, but it makes no sense. You're going to have him on his own, and then he can't use half his abilities, and he's fast. He can go do secondaries for you, but he doesn't have Lone Op anymore. He can be shot from across the board. He's very soft. Well, he has a 4-up invuln at least. But yeah, I got him at the top of B for now. Or what is that? Yeah, that's considered B, right? Because you got S, A, B.
He can flicker jump with the unit. It's just why was he in with warp spiders in the first place?
I don't like him with warp spiders. Yeah, because you can flicker jump because the unit gets flicker, but I meant more like he can't keep up with what they're doing. Like they're doing objectives, they're shooting. He's just gonna get pinned out, right? So, I don't like him. Sorry. Not that I don't like him. He's in B. He's still in B. He's not like don't take him, but Avatar of Cain.
Yeah, the guy who is so badass, they made an entire detachment around him.
So his detachment rule gives him some buffs. Obviously, we know he has the extended range on his thing, and then he gets a straight 8 damage, which is crazy.
And he gets rerolls because he's an avatar in his own detachment.
He loses the ability to do his what's it called? Automatic D3 shots, because I could just use a fate token before a fate dice and make turn into a 6.
I'm tired of my transports getting 4 hits in Overwatch automatically.
Yeah. So you have to roll that out now. So that is a nerf on him. So that's gone, but he does get a few other buffs. He still halves damage, which is crazy. He does the same abilities, +1 to charge for units around him, as well as himself. So he can come out of reserve and have an 8-inch charge if need be. He's I wouldn't say very expensive. He's 300 points. I think it's fair. He's not bad. I just don't. Beside his detachment, he's not usable in very many other ones, in my opinion.
I think enough stuff changed in the codex to warrant not always needing him, because now you have other options. It's not that he's bad, you just have other options.
Diogo makes a good point. If you put him with the warp spiders, you have a 24-inch moving melt-a-gun, and it gives you something to like grenade at 24 inches, which is true. Like it's pretty good, but like
grenade, flamers, melta.
You're doing that for 80 points. It's not bad.
80 plus the warp spiders.
It's like engineers are not, or how many points are engineers?
70 for 5. And then you need the transport, which is another 65. And it's cheaper.
It's not bad.
It's cheaper than yours.
It's not bad. I think situational is a good, and if you guys disagree with that, let me know. But I don't think he's strong. I think he's situational. It's not bad. He's not a bad character to take though at all. Avatar Cain, I have him in the same boat. Like I don't have him as a strong character. Like he is a beatstick. He can, destroy a tank for you. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. But nowadays, you saw what happened against the Gene Stealers when I played Lucas. They just, a million paper cuts and he went down.
He also, isn't he kind of hard to deliver?
Not really. he's got movement 10. He can't deep strike. That's kind of sucks. But you got movement 10. You can if you want to bring him off the side of the edge of the board, it's not the best idea. You kind of move him up. Try not to get shot in the first 2 turns, and then you can deliver him into something you need in like turn 2 or 3. But he's gonna get flooded. He's not bad. I have him in situational, top of situational right now. Like he's ahead of the.
Yep.
Is he ahead of the Weight Leaper? I don't think so. I think he's below the Weight Leaper. To be honest,
Eldar, way better, so I'll go with that.
For me, he's slow. Like not that 10 inches is slow, but compared to the other Eldar stuff, he's slow. And what are you going to be using him for in reality? Like you're going to be building around Avatar Arcane. When everything's like kind of flickering around, you can use him as your like, I don't know, Mortarion to go down the middle and just suck up a bunch of damage. So your aspect warriors are not getting targeted.
And that's when the opponent's going to have ignore modifiers.
Yeah, and he's just, I don't know, 300 points. And I honestly think another character is a lot better than him if you want to take a Avatar. So we'll talk about her later. But Baharov.
B-Boy.
B-Boy, as you guys nicknamed him for some reason.
Oh, it's just an old joke from behind the scenes.
So here's the thing. With one unit of Swooping Hawks, it's a very good combo. Like he comes in, everything becomes lethal, right? Like everything becomes a crit.
Yep.
That's his ability. So it's good. You can shoot, and then the Swooping Hawks can do their stupid 6-inch deep strike. Stay outside of as long as they're within 8, they can throw their mortal wounds at you, and you can grenade as well, right? Can they grenade?
They do have the grenade
talking
keyword.
About Swooping Hawks right now. So,
but that's if I remember right with Swooping Hawks, does it say they can't use both at once?
You can't use both, I don't believe, at once. Yeah. But still,
yeah, you cannot target this unit with the grenade stratagem if you do that.
Okay, so you can obviously do the Swooping Hawks ability. And
I have a stupid rules question now.
What?
Actually, I'll wait till we get to the Swooping Hawks.
So here's it's good. It's a good, if you can keep bringing it up and down, if you can make Baharoth and the stat unit survive, do you take them with 10? Do you take to make it so you can do it at least twice so you don't feel bad about because they're paper, they're going to go down and they're big. Like we were talking about this, the new Swooping Hawks are huge.
Their base is increased.
And Baharoth, they're doing the Statue of Liberty pose. Like you can see these guys' wings from across, and he's on a big ass base now as well.
They're tall, they're wide. Going from 25 to 28 is actually a huge step.
Yeah, so where this combo would work really good is in Warhost because they have their Fire and Fade still. So you could do all this and then pop away, but you have to be in a really good spot because his base is huge. Getting behind on the other side of a square or on the other side of a wall for the entire unit might be kind of difficult with what is it, 6-inch movement, or you got to roll now for Fire and Fade.
I think in one it's you roll. No,
it's in.
I don't remember exactly.
I haven't played Warhost, but I know Fire and Fade is your unit can make a normal move up to D6 plus 1, so potentially 7-inch movement. You're going to need every one of those inches to move this unit into cover. Like I said, if you can really play them well and they can get into cover and be safe the entire game, that combo is great because it's going to be really annoying and you can wear people down. But I don't think this guy's going to last past one time of doing that. I think that's how easy they are to go down.
It's nice for actions. But then I saw him with Swooping Hawks as 200 points.
That's what I'm saying. It's not worth it, and they're easily targeted. That's the thing. If you can get it off twice, it would be worth the points. Maybe 3 times, be really worth the points. But I really believe you're going to do this once, unless you're extremely lucky in the setup. I don't think you're going to be able to hide them through the first turn. They're going to get shot down in the first turn. At least the Swooping Hawks will be gone. Then you'll just have Baharoth at least. But I got him still in situational. I'd say he's above Avatar, in between there.
Okay.
Put him in between those two there. Unless you think, yeah.
He does to me, he does multiple jobs. I don't know if he does it the best, but he does multiple jobs, which I like.
If you're doing it just to do like a behind enemy lines or something like that, or like you want to just deep strike, just use Swooping Hawks at that point. You don't need Baharoth there, because I don't think that combo is going to be used more than once. Like I said, I think they'll be targeted and removed pretty easily, in my opinion. But if you don't think so, then Mauled. Move on to the next guy. The Death Jester. So he still has Lone Op, which is nice. He got to keep his Lone Op. His gun is 24 inches. It's exactly the same as it used to be. You get to choose your you want sustained, precision, or was it lethal?
Yep.
Sustained, precision,
ignores cover, precision,
ignores cover. So you're obviously going to choose either, depending on what you're shooting, you're going to usually use sustained hit 3 or precision if you're trying to kill a character. Only thing for me is it's only 24 inches. His gun's 24 inches. He does have Lone Op. So you could potentially move into 24-inch range and then still be okay, because 12 inches is, not everybody can move 12 inches into you. So it just depends on the situation. I don't think he's going to be seen very often because of the kind of list builds that I'm seeing right now with the MSU spam. But yeah, his abilities are decent.
He fell from grace, not through his own fault.
He makes you take a battle shock as well.
It's not his own fault that he fell from grace. Remember the index attachment had that stratagem for, what was it, free reroll and then automatic 6?
Mm-hmm.
Any dice you used was an automatic 6, I think.
Yeah.
It was basically the enhancements you would take with him are no longer there, and fate dice are gone. He lost that, because you always saw the same Death Jester with the same enhancement, and he can't do that anymore. So he's the same. Yeah. It's just he's worse.
You can still snipe a character. You can still snipe a character out. It's going to take. You have to roll. You actually have to roll now. You don't get your automatic hits. So that's exactly right. He's still going to be situational. For me, I don't think he's a bad choice. I think he's probably in between Baharoth and Avatar there. He's not better than the Way Leaper. I think the Way Leaper, like Diogo was saying, has a lot more capabilities, especially with, you can take a Melta-Gun and just make him travel 24 inches. That's a really good point. So I do like him a little bit better now. So you can put him in between there. Moving on to you saw me use him multiple times.
Eldrad?
And I wanted Eldrad to work because he is a CP. He regenerates CP every turn, so we get an extra CP, which is really good for Eldar. Doom is nice. +1 to wound is always good. Especially if you have fire dragons and if you can get within 18 inches and you can see a big target like a Dorn or something bigger, that is, you're going to be wounding on 5s with your fire dragons. If you can make them wound on 4s, that could be absolutely devastating, guarantee a kill. So that's a big thing. There's a lot of what ifs though, right? Like if I get
what if there, he's not that tanky, he's just a straight up 4-up save. At least he's toughness 4 for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's just,
if you put him in a Falcon with on his own with fire dragons, he pops out, but he can't even doom at that point, right?
No, it's at the end of your movement phase.
It's in the end of the movement.
Yes. So when you disembark, you can still doom.
That's right.
The only thing is he's very expensive, and again, losing fate dice kind of neutered what you would take him for.
I know, but the doom is nice. Like if you're going to use him like that, 110 points to do that though is
110 for him. Then you got to pay for the Falcon. Then you need like the other units that he supports.
So I'll say this: if fire dragons were not so efficient at what they do with the rerolls, it would be worth it. But because they reroll everything to hit, wound, and damage, I don't think you need the doom. So it becomes, And other detachments maybe he could be more useful. I'm thinking you need, because I know that's going to be like the staple at tournaments right now.
Until it gets slapped.
Warhost as well. Where
would you put
until
him?
He gets what?
Until you need gets slapped.
No, leave them alone. They would have got it already if they got it. He's still good. Like I like the CP regeneration. It's just like I'm looking at his stats.
Death Jester used to have dev wounds. I forgot about that.
He used to have devs. Yes, that's right. He was a lot better. Put him just under the Way Leaper. He's better than Baharoth for sure.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, the CP alone is nice. I always love CP generators.
CP regener is always strong. He's good. He's just not,
Next up, this is one that I think I got correct. The Farseer.
That's a Farseer.
Perfect. Because there's like 3 models that look like that, and I'm like, I don't know which one's which.
Like his abilities +1 to hit against a unit. You pick an enemy unit, everybody gets +1 to hit. While this model's in a unit, are you gonna put him with a unit? I don't think so.
The big thing is the units you can take with him, which is like, are you gonna take those?
Well, Guardian Defenders are decent.
They're your basic battle line, right?
Yeah, they're good, and I wouldn't take them with Unit, obviously, because you're going to be taking your Cabalite because they're better. You put them in Vipers. We'll talk about that. Not Vipers. Vipers, right?
You
what are they called?
Take them with a Warlock.
Venoms. Wrong snake. I got him in bad choice. Sorry.
He just doesn't help you.
So Farseer Skyrunner. Like, here's why I like him.
Same thing, just on a bike.
Yeah, but here's why I like the Farseer Skyrunner. The mobility, like he's 14-inch movement. Never mind his abilities, like they're just the same as like there's like +1, subtract 1 from the wound roll for a unit. Like you tag a unit and they're -1 to wound at whatever they hit at. It's whatever. It's the ability that he's 14-inch movement. You can make him 16.
Oh, 1 extra toughness, 1 extra wound.
Yeah, and then he's fast. You can advance him. You can give him +2 to move, and then he's 14-inch movement, 16 if you give them the +2. He can go do shenanigans in your backfield. He can go do a thing for relatively cheap. For 80 points, I would say for that reason, he falls to a bad choice for one reason only. And we'll talk about it later, because you can take a Warlock to do the exact same thing on a bike for 40 points.
And the Warlock wouldn't give assassination, I don't believe.
And a Warlock is not a character, exactly. So we'll get to that in a bit. But I got him at put him ahead of this guy for sure.
I'd say the only thing I'd say with it is if you're gonna take a Farseer, take the bike version. There's like no reason to take the normal one over there.
Yeah.
Extra toughness, extra wounds, more movement.
Yep. Fugan.
Oh my god, he's so annoying.
He's really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he's good. His ability's good. His gun is crazy. 18 inches. He gives everybody. His gun becomes farther as well.
Yep.
So his melter range becomes what? 12 inches?
If you add 6.
Yeah, his melter range is 12 inches. He has melta 6, strength 14. So everything in the game is wounded on 3s.
Because he goes from 18 to 24, which is insane.
And you're re-rolling everything because he's going to be going with fire dragons. I would not run him by himself.
He gets back up. His melee is actually horrifying for what it is.
For what he is, yeah, exactly.
I had this guy one-shot my Chimera in melee before.
With Fugan?
Yep. Mostly because of the AP 4 and 3 damage.
Okay, so he costs more than a full unit of fire dragons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So you got to take that into consideration.
But it lets you play safer with your fire dragons because you had 6-inch to normally a 12-inch gun.
Okay, 3 inches on your melta profile, like basically 6 becomes 9.
Yep.
It is a big deal. Like when you're coming out of a transport, it is a big deal. But here's the thing. Would you rather take Fugan and 5 fire dragons in a wave serpent, or would you rather take 10 fire dragons, 2 units in a wave serpent?
I'd rather take, say, 2 units of 5, or even a 10-man, just because do I want 5 shots or 1 shot?
Exactly.
And they reroll hit roll, reroll wound roll, can reroll the damage into the preferred
he's going to do that
target.
because you're not going to. I would not play Fugan on his own. I would put him at least with that 1 unit of fire dragons. You're just paying 10 points more for 1 shot. That does melta
6
D6 plus 6, but you're gonna get that anyways. You have 2 Exarchs that do that anyways. Yes, they don't have his strength. You're going to be wounding on 5s, but you're re-rolling everything. You're going into a monster or a vehicle. You're going to be doing that. You're going to be more efficient because you get 4 other shots doing the same thing. Mathematically speaking, 110 points for 5 more fire dragons, with one having the same profile minus the strength of his gun and obviously the range. You're going to have way more shots to do the exact same thing. Fire dragons are so efficient. You don't, until they get nerfed, you do not need Fugan. Fugan's going to be something we think about in the future. Don't even look at him right now, in my opinion. He's still, you can't say he's a bad choice. He's still a very strong profile. I'm going to have him ahead of, like, I put him just after the way leaper on with wings.
So above?
But he's not if you see him in list, you might, but I don't think he's going to be in very many lists because of the point cost.
He's horrifying until you realize he's
unit of fire dragons.
He's horrifying until you realize he's one shot, which means he can't kill most vehicles at one go. It's the fire, but if you see a unit of fire dragons, I now fear for my vehicle.
Yes. It's the cost. Like if he was 80 points, which is crazy, but 90 points even, I could start thinking about it, but I'd rather take more fire dragons. Yes, he is good for seer council. That is correct, but you're not gonna. You might see some seer council. People running wraiths, I guess. We'll get into the wraith stuff soon. Jain Zar, on the other hand, good. She has one of the better units in the game, so automatically she's going to be more usable because banshees are great. I haven't run her against you, have I?
You haven't. Other people have. And
I think I ran her against you once.
Every time I see her, I personally don't see the point because I usually play squishy armies where Howling Banshees already deal with me. Then
Howling Banshees already have fights first. She gives them
auto advance.
So basically, the auto advance 6, which is huge. So these guys are moving what, 8, 14, 15 movement? What's their movement? 7 or it's 8, right?
8 for Howling Banshees.
So 14-inch movement automatically, and then they get to charge.
You can make it 16, with the +2.
Then +2, you get 16-inch movement. Absolutely. It's the reroll everything against a character unit. You get to reroll all the wounds against a character unit, which is really, really good. And
just for me,
her range profiles. Before you get into what you're saying, her range weapon is actually pretty good for planking stuff too, because strength 6, it's assault, hits on 2s. Strength 6, AP 2, 1 damage. You can take down a few models with that as well before you even charge in. And then her close combat weapon is insane, in my opinion, especially with the reroll everything to wound.
For me, it's just 5 of the armies I play are very squishy, so she ends up never being able to attack. Which means I usually don't see feedback from her. So she might have helped, I just don't see the feedback.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going into a bunch of 2 wound models, like, I don't know, Gene Stealers or something
Marines,
like that.
Gene Stealers, Sisters, Tau, Guard, all of them already get destroyed by her unit. So I'm just like, yeah, she does a lot, but I don't see it.
Yeah,
I understand it. I just don't see it.
5 Banshees are not taking out 10 Gene Stealers.
If I was playing Knights, I'd be pretty afraid of her. Which sounds surprising, but it's a strength 6, because now she's winning the small Knights on 5s.
Yeah, not Knights. She's more anti-infantry, but it's she can do some damage into it. It's 2 damage weapon. It's strength 6, AP 3, so she just shreds any kind of infantry.
It's a baby Knights.
I got her in tournament standard for specific detachments. Obviously, you can't take her in you need, but for other detachments, she is definitely good. Yeah, she's the only tournament standard we have. Yo, speaking of another tournament standard, Lycus.
Wow, way to spoil it.
Well, I mean, everybody knows.
Yes.
This is the best unit in the game to basically rush your opponent's objective, home objective. It's guaranteed.
The only
reason
you have no choice. I wouldn't say she's the best unit in the game is just because she can't be used in Unid. And a lot of people run Unid right now.
Yeah. No. I didn't say best unit in the game. I said she's the best unit in the game for getting at your opponent's objective. Your home objective. Easily. She's automatic. That's what she was designed to do, is get her unit in the backfield, bring 10 warp spiders, go on you see how you put your little Leontis blob on your back objective? That's gone.
Yep.
And you can do that. guaranteed turn 2, almost guaranteed in turn 1 as well.
Turn 1, it depends on deployment.
Depending
there are
where you,
some maps
where
where
you,
yes.
depending where you deploy, depending how close you are to the line, you can easily get charged and shot by this unit. And then close combat wise, she buffs stuff. I just wish they made her a bit more like of an assassin instead of like her marking a unit. She's like, all right, guys, shoot this one. They're gonna give you lethals on 5.
A crit on 5, so lethal, sustained.
Crits.
Anything else you can get there? No, just lethal and sustain.
Lethal, sustained. Yeah, there's nothing else you can stack with that. With crit.
It's just funny she does crit on 5s when her and her entire unit is flamers.
Yeah. She's up there, man. I think she's just behind Jain Zar though.
Really?
Because you don't Banshees are much more oppressive than like warp spiders. You're using them to do objectives. You're using them to move around the board. They're not as killy as they used to be. The dev wounds are gone. You're using them more to be like shenanigans and kill like the smaller stuff. But if you want this strat to like go at your opponent in his home objective, this is like the best character designed to do that. So it just all depends on your build of your list and what detachment you're doing. But I definitely have her in tournament standard for a few detachments can use her very well. Except you need.
And
Schneed.
Hey Troy, what's up?
Another sniper.
Troy's
in the building.
Is he a sniper?
Did you just ask if Magna Ra's a sniper?
Well, did you say another sniper?
Yeah, it's the second sniper. We had a Death Jester.
He doesn't have precision.
He's still a sniper.
Yeah, but I guess if you kill the entire unit.
What do you mean he doesn't have precision?
I'm looking at it. He doesn't have precision.
Oh no, but he's still a sniper. He just dev wounds you from far away. Still makes you a sniper. He shoots from afar.
Character can't live if the unit he's attached to is also gone.
He has the basic like build that he had. I don't like him. And I didn't like him back then. He was just like a whatever. I remember Nick Nanavati was trying to prove to everybody at Art of War that he's going to make a Magna Ra list, and people were going to be like, oh, wow, he's really good, but it never happened. I still think he's in the same boat. He's just, Like his weapon profile is okay, 36 inches. He gets more range than the Death Jester. Hidden on 2s, strength 7, AP 2, 2 damage with devs, 6 attacks. Okay. Just average.
Wait, what?
Below average, in my opinion.
His main ability, I'm just reading it.
He has the same thing. He has the subtract 1 from the he makes you take battle shock test and subtracting 1.
It's the other ability where he does like AoE mortal wounds.
Oh yeah. D3 mortal wounds.
On a 5-up though, that's pretty hard to get.
Yep. I don't know. He's kind of a weird character.
That's a very wordy ability to just sometimes do mortals.
And he's not cheap. He's 100 points.
Also, when he toughness 3 and 5 wounds, I never realized how low wounds the epic heroes are.
I'll put him ahead of both of those guys though. In bad choice.
In bad choice, really?
Yeah, he's not good.
All right.
I don't like him. He's not my friend. This girl I like.
That is a Shadow Seer, right?
Oh, no, we're at the Shadow Seer, yes. Shadow Seer's just, what do you think of her? Did you see me?
Honestly, I kind of don't get the point of her just because I never see her.
It's gonna be used in the clown detachment, obviously, more than any other.
Is there a clown detachment?
Of course there is.
Huh.
You think they would be in the book without having a detachment?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's called the Ghost of the Webway. Those are the clowns.
Oh, that's what the name was. I understand.
Ghost of the Webway.
I reading her abilities, I kind of don't get the points. The point. What belt is nice?
Well, she joins the unit, gets 18-inch lone op, which is whatever, and then
18-inch lone op is nice. What belt
making
is
your
nice?
Unit get hazard, like the unit attacking them in close combat get hazardous.
Amazing.
It can be kind of wonky. It is. It could be kind of
amazing in the sense of I'm just gonna shoot you.
No, yeah, exactly. But I mean, if they get charged or somebody tries to charge them in the backfield, or you use them as a screening unit, It's gonna be funny that you know your unit of close combat guys have to take hazardous tests.
What's funny is if she charges you, you have to fight back.
Yes, exactly.
Do extra attacks also have to fight?
Everything you have to fight in close combat. You can't stop attacks.
Because if someone has like 3 extra attack weapons, that could be 3 more hazard checks.
Isn't hazard now just each unit takes a hazard check for each weapon they fight with?
Yeah, for every weapon. And extra attacks are another weapon.
Yeah, true. Is it?
Yeah. It's for Leontes, his horse is a second melee weapon with extra attacks. So if I have to use that, that's another test.
I've never seen that actually come up, but we should actually challenge that rule. See if you have to actually take two hazard tests for that.
Because you could because there's some guys who have like 3 extra attacks, so you can make one unit one model do 4 hazard checks.
Yeah.
The thing is, they still get to fight you, which can wipe out your unit.
Exactly. That's the best part.
The best part is you still get to punch me.
You still get to fight. I just don't like her. Honestly, she's weird. It's just weird.
I don't see the point of her.
Yeah, I put her at the bottom of bad right now. I
don't
think she's
still not in don't take though.
No, she's bad, but she's not. She's funny. If you really have an idea with her, with the clowns, go ahead.
At least she's funny, fitting the clown persona.
She's funny. She's at least funny, if anything else. Her I like. So, don't even look at her stats. Don't look at it. Just for me to tell you what she can do, because you don't know anything of the Solitaire, right?
All I know with Solitaire is in Blackstone Fortress, the Solitaire on his own is better than like 6 champions together. And in lore, they're insane. I'm not going to look at the stats.
I want your realistic impression of what I tell you without reading it, okay?
I'm not looking at it.
Where would you put her after I tell you all this? She's lone op. She fights first. She's stealth. Okay?
Okay.
She can use battle focus and desperate paths, which is their faction abilities. She can use both. Once per battle in your movement phase, first of all, she moves 12 inches. Okay? Let me tell you her weapon profile so you know what she's working with. She's on foot, yes. Let me just tell you her weapon profile. 9 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage with precision. Okay?
No lethal or anything?
No lethal. But listen to this. Once per game, you can make her movement, you can add to her movement 2d6.
Thomas used this against me and he rolled a 3 for the movement. I remember.
No, 2d6.
He rolled a 3 on 2d6.
A 1 and a 2?
Yeah. That's was
bad luck.
Devastating.
Thomas who? Oh, Thomas, okay. Aeldari guy.
Yep.
So 2d6 on top of 12. Then you still get to advance. She advances in charges, by the way. So you can still roll an advance and she charges. So you can potentially move her what? If you rolled
30?
Perfectly here, you got 12 plus 12 is 24, 30 inches.
And then if you get a 12 to charge, 42.
Well, you're not going to get 12 because you can't charge a target 12, but if 11.
But if you roll 12, you get to go a little bit farther, so.
And here's another thing. You gain +3 attacks when you pop that ability, so you get 12 attacks.
At 622.
At 622, hitting on 2s and precision, so you can go into a unit and literally snipe out a character guaranteed with 2 damage apiece. Like, it's going to happen. You can fly her across the board. Where would you put her?
That'll kill Custodes. One question, the save.
She's
2 up or 3 up save?
No, she has her save is 6 up.
And I'm guessing 4 up invuln. They fixed that. I think it used to be a 3 up invuln. I think.
No, she has a 4 up.
All right, now time to read it. So moves as fast as a bike, like a jet bike on foot.
No, they move 14.
Your bikes. I'm talking a normal jet bike.
Yeah, she first of all, she moves like you can guarantee like she's gonna move 16 inches, like unless you roll really bad. That's just Anthony rolling.
Here's the thing: I've never seen you use a Solitaire, so it can't be tournament standard, unless they can't be taken in Inari.
You're saying I only use tournament standard units? I use I use Shining Spears against you multiple times.
Yes,
recently.
But I'm just thinking
And
like when we
like,
played
oh, shit.
other games, I'm just thinking like I've never seen a Solitaire.
She's good.
Can she not be used in You Need?
She can.
Definitely at least top of strong, if not bottom of tournament standard.
Yeah, she's top of strong in my opinion right now. Like right now, definitely top of strong.
Because that's just.
I wouldn't say guaranteed. 115 points, but you see what she does. Guarantee kill a character.
Team kill a character in his entourage.
If you really want somebody gone, like Calgar or somebody like that,
if you
just
have,
put a bunch of precision shots.
Yeah, like if you have a 10-man unit with a character, the character's dead and most of the bodyguard unit. That already makes up the points right there.
It spills over, so yeah. Just put it all in the character, and whatever spills over, spills over.
Yep.
That's just, yeah.
And at AP2, they're always going to be saving at least at a 4-up.
When I first started reading her movement, I was just like, what the she's an airplane. That's not
at least it's once per battle.
Give her wings at least. Make this make sense. Spirit Seer. So, Spirit Seers are good. And of course, the Wraith detachment. Because they do things for Wraiths. Besides that, they're kind of useless for every other thing. They give Wraiths a bunch of buffs. So, yeah, they're going to be obviously strong. I'll put them right now, I'll put them underneath Asserman.
The main question...
If you run a Seer detachment, you need a couple of these.
The main question is, are Wraiths good?
We'll get there.
Because that will influence her.
We'll get there. She's strong though. Because you can't function as a Seer Council without a few Spirit Seers.
Anti-infantry 2+ AP 0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wound that toughness 7 Custodes Terminator on 2s, but he saves on 2s. It's not about that.
Yeah, I know. Wraith constructs model from your lone op. Yeah, she gets lone op when she's 3 inches from Wraith construct, and you don't see it here, but Wraiths shoot better when she's near.
Oh, okay.
Any psyker, but you're gonna bring her because 65 points for a psyker is pretty good. Visark. I used him against you.
I find him very defensive. He's not that expensive, the Visark.
Yeah.
But he's very defensive because he gives fights first. Which means you have to get charged for that to be useful. Which means you just want to go somewhere and get charged. Otherwise, you're not using his ability.
Not necessarily. If you charge and ensuing combat continues, you still get to fight.
Yeah. But I usually imagine when you charge with someone like him, the unit's gone.
Not always. Depends what you charge into, right? So
I do love his third stance, the mythic stance, because it uses anti-epic hero.
Yeah.
It's finally a new keyword they never use. That's awesome.
Yep. Visark with Incubi. That's what I was running. I was watching Barry Bash and I saw Diogo was running the same thing. I was they was running that Incubi with Visark, and I'm like, oh, great minds think alike. But it was fun. I used him. They do a bunch of shot. Like if you're playing a heavy infantry army, they're really good because he gets a bunch of attacks against infantry. Actually, he has 3 profiles.
Anti-infantry, anti-epic, anti-character, I guess.
Exactly. But his anti-infantry is really good because it's sustain hits too. So if he pops off, it could be nasty. Especially if you shoot with, you're not going to do it in the You Need detachment, but if you could crit on 5s, would be nice, right? You can also attach You Need with them, which would be a bigger point sink.
It's her personal bodyguard, I get it.
She has a good gun and she can do decent in close combat, but you're looking at another 100 points for an Incubi unit basically because you're going to put them with Incubi most likely unless you.
The only thing is that ability is half pointless because with other characters like him, you can put the damage on the character first to get the 4-up Final Pain, but because he splits from Yivrain when the unit dies.
Oh yeah.
he's no longer attached to her when you can finally damage her. So it's only good against precision. And how often do you see precision?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Just not all the time.
I want to put him in. Look, a month ago, or not a month ago, but 2 weeks ago, I would have said he's like strong. Now I have him more like situational. It could work for a certain army. Like it could work against certain armies. Infantry heavy armies, it would be a good build. Not with Unid, just him with Incubi, in my opinion, would be pretty good for certain armies. So I'm going to put him in situational. I'd put him just above. No, just below Baharoth.
I agree with it. Just for me, I'd probably put him below the Death Jester, but I'll put him where you want. Because to me, it just feels like two of his abilities are
you can put him. You can put him at below the Death Jester. That's fine.
His only two abilities feel too rare for him to be like much higher up for me.
Yeah, I mean, fights first is nice, but if you're running, you get fights first no matter what for one unit. Put him below the Death Jester. That's fine.
Yep.
That's above the Death Jester.
Your thing's probably delayed.
Oh.
Second you said to put him below, I put him below.
All right, you've had a lot. How many games have we just played yesterday, and I beat Anthony 100 to 26?
No,
it was 30. A really bad game for you.
I had 30 points.
I give you 4 points at the end. That's right.
You did.
I let you take the objective. It was a bad game for you, but you can talk about the Yncarne because you've seen her in action now multiple times now. What do you think?
The main thing with the Yncarne, I think it's not exactly her. It's the combo she could do with Striking Scorpions, because it's almost impossible for Striking Scorpions not to be in your deployment turn 1, which means if you want to get rid of the guys who are move blocking you or clearing your chaff or tying up your tanks, then oh look who's in your face now, the Yncarne, which if he could go to a spot where he can't really be shot now, which means the Yncarne now gets to go rampage in your back lines, and you have to dedicate a lot back there to kill the Yncarne, which then leads to more stuff having time to walk up and get in your lines. It just starts a domino effect of, I deal with this thing, now the Yncarne's here, I got to deal with that on my home. Now he has more in my home, while he has other units doing whatever they want on the field.
And in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, get your Guinness.
I got water.
Get your Guinness, Anthony. I have water here too, but I'm going to have a Guinness for St. Patrick, the Italian. All right. Yeah, you're right. She can definitely combo well with units that go down. You're not going to guarantee blinker because your Scorpions went down. Did you see? Here's an example of we were saying before. People were saying like, broken things about Eldar. Did you see how important it was when I moved her into your backfield?
Yeah. If you moved her there first, the rest of my guns would have just shot her.
You need to move. You need to blink to an area where, you need to move to an area where you're not going to get shot, or at least if you're going to get shot, it's going to be minimal damage at least. But if you start blinking just because you want to blink across the table in an area you really want to get to, if I bait that out and you just bring her there, she's going to get shot to pieces.
You could
so
also
I kind of waited for
her.
you to shoot your Dorn, shoot your things, do that. Then I'm like, okay, I'll blink her there now. And then
you can wait till the third Scorpion unit goes down to finally blink her, because by then I should be mostly out of guns.
Yeah. So, and yeah, Lucas makes a good point. You have to make sure you set up stuff to like shoot and charge that area. Exactly. You have to have a little plan. You can't just, again, back to that with Eldar, you have to have intention of what you're doing. You can't just be like, I get to move extra times, I'm going to start moving everywhere. No, you can't do that. You got to move in places where you got to get to. If you're playing one of Lucas's armies, like I played against the Gene Stealers, I'll be moving backwards, not moving anywhere closer. I don't want to get meleeed, right? So you're going to be using your movement to like fire and fade, or not really fire and fade anymore, but he didn't even have shooting, so I was kind of screwed. If you run Unid against a list like that, you're not really going to get shot. You're going to get meleeed, so you need to really play passive against an army that good, or put your Banshees up, get your Striking Scorpions in their front lines, do as much damage as you can, and hope that they don't surge you in turn 3.
Yes.
But yeah, Unid's number 1.
You have to be big, not big.
Sorry, Yncarne, not Unid.
Yes. You just don't want to binary teleport. That's the main thing. If you take away anything, don't binary teleport.
don't blindly teleport and put yourself in a position where you can set yourself up. And she needs support. You can't just blink her in a spot and think like, I'm going to take out that tank. That's good enough. She's going to get shot to shit. You want to have some supporting cast there coming in, helping give her some more targets. Otherwise, she's gone. She doesn't have her minus. Going through her stats, I'm going to tell you right now, she can heal at any point. Like she can heal multiple times a turn. Like she can heal in Overwatch. She can heal when she kills with her gun. She can heal when she kills in close combat. So she can heal multiple times. But the half damage, do you think the half damage is better in that situation? Or do you think healing is better?
Half damage is way better. I'm always going to say preventing damage from happening in the first place is better than recovering damage. You can't guarantee you will recover.
Yeah.
If you just get one-shotted, now you never healed, when before it would take twice the damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a chance healing is better, but you have to hope your opponent doesn't one-shot you, and everyone always goes for the kill.
This battlefield. I'm just going to read something here. Unit can remove this model from the battlefield.
Is it about the battle focus and detachment moving?
I don't know I don't know where that says that, Lucas, but so what it says is once in each of your opponent's turns, if this model is on the battlefield when another friendly Aeldari unit is destroyed, just after removing the last model in that unit, you can remove this model from the battlefield. Oh, because you remove the model from the battlefield and it's coming back on. That's what he's saying. So it acts like a coming from reserve. But so he's saying you can't. What?
Wouldn't you still be able to do like the one where you make a normal move after I kill one of your units?
No. I don't think coming from reserve you can move at that point. If that's what you mean, Lucas, if you can clarify that. But you can move in your next turn after you do that. After I can move her in my next turn. He's saying you can't use your abilities on her to move her even closer.
Well, if you're fighting Tau, good luck not doing that. Like, oh wow, I get to charge her now? No.
I don't think she can. Knight's asking here. I think Lucas might be right because she's coming from reserve. Lucas, if you can explain that further, I think you might be right. I'll look into that. I don't think
it's coming from reserve. You're just teleported
because you're leaving the table and you're coming. No, but you're leaving the table and she's coming back. So
but it's not happening in the reinforcement step.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true, Lucas. I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know where you got that. Yeah, it could be in the maneuvers wording.
Could be in the maneuvers wording, yeah, or the detachment rule, maybe. Either way,
I'll look into that. But that is something to keep in mind for sure. She's still good. She's still number one in my books right now. Going on to the next one. What do you have there?
Oh, WTC might have ruled it. Anyway.
Oh, WC ruled.
I put Yncarne right at the top.
If it's a WTC rule, then it's a specific rule from WTC. It's not in their actual rules. So
something about it being a repositioned model. Rules right out of the book. Currently, I would say it's fine.
Yeah, unless there's a specific ruling from like a tournament or something, that I don't see why you can't move her after blinking her. But it would make sense. What do you have there? What is that?
I put the Yncarne right at the top. Oh, that's a Troop Master. That is the picture straight from GW. It is either that one or the other lady.
That's a Troop Master?
Yep.
Oh, that's what he looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird model.
He's clearly an old model. He's doing some wild pose.
They put a bad angle on the like it's a flat angle because on the app he's like on an angle.
I got it from GW, that picture.
What do you think of him? Go ahead.
I like him. He's cool, especially if you're playing the clown detachment. I've had him used against me before, and I like his rules, and that 6-inch consolidate is very annoying because your muscle memory of moving your units so that you can't be consolidated into goes right out the window.
Yeah.
It's very annoying. That's the thing.
He gets to reroll hit rolls of 1 and the wound roll of a 1, which is pretty good. His close combat weapon's decent.
His main thing is he's very annoying, but him and his unit I find don't do that much damage.
You can take a fusion pistol on him. He can do pretty decent damage.
That's the thing, like, it's decent, but there are things that do way more damage for a similar cost.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't say he's S tier, but I think he's strong for a clown detachment. I think you need him. Yeah, I think you can put him ahead of Asserman. Just put him after the Autarch. Actually, Yeah, put him ahead of behind the Autarch.
Behind the Autarch.
Yeah, I think those two characters are better than him.
Yep.
I kind of think. Can you put the Autarch ahead of the Assassin? She's more situational, in my opinion.
Okay. Mine is is it the Autarch that does the CP?
Yeah.
That is always so good. Effectively free stratagem is always good.
Put him first in strong right now. Warlock.
Yep. Warlock is up next.
Here's our first don't take.
It's cheap.
It's cheap. That's all they've got going for him.
Cheap.
Honestly.
Here's the thing. What really shocks me is 2 wounds. Even my cheapest characters at like 35 points are at least 3 or 4 wounds.
Yes.
2 wounds with a 4-up save. 4-up invuln.
Like, subtract 2 from the charge roll. Like, I don't know. I don't have any use for this. I wouldn't see what detachment you would take him with. Maybe because he's a psyker, you can take him with like the Seer Council and just have like a psyker nearby that's cheap.
Cannot attach it to a Seeker Council?
No.
All could attach to his Guardian Defenders and Storm Defenders.
Not attach. You just take him as a lone psyker and have him near your Wraith units to give them the +1 to hit. It boosts their weapon skill.
The only reason I could see this being really usable
is 40 points.
45 points is if it had lone op. But it's so my mortars can kill this thing on their own.
Not everybody has indirect though.
You're right. It's very easy to kill, no matter where you are.
Yeah, 2 wounds is like you don't make you don't make your 4-up invuln, you're gone.
Yeah, it's just
yeah. It is what it is.
Oh, here's one I used to call that YGWY. I'm like, YGW?
Why? Are you gonna change it?
I could if you want.
No, I'll just leave it. Next one is Scary.
Yeah, that's just straight up Scary. I should have just put a picture of him.
The Archon himself. Scary. Would you take Scary in your detachment?
He already has a lot of points for him because, CP down.
CP down? What do you mean?
Like he's 1 CP cheaper for stratagems.
Oh, yeah.
I just realized something.
He's 75 points.
What's the name of his ability?
His ability? Which one? He has 2. Overlord or
the CP
Reborn Master? Overlord.
Oh
no, it's called Reborn Mastermind.
It says once per battle, 1 model can use this ability.
Yeah.
The Autarch has a different named one. It's called Path of Command.
Yep.
So you can use him and an Autarch.
It's 2 different ones, yeah.
So you can use him, an Autarch, and Eldrad, and basically get 4 CP a turn.
Exactly. Not 4 CP.
Yeah, because Eldrad gives you 1.
Oh, you mean to use it for 1 less? Yeah. Effectively, you're getting an extra CP.
Because you get Eldrad for 1, you generate 1 normal. This makes a cheaper one, and Autarch makes a cheaper one.
Yep. But that's going to be. It depends what you're doing. But absolutely, you can have a lot of CP, and if you look at it like that. Reroll wound rolls of a 1 while this model is below starting strength.
Does he have grenade?
Models in the unit reroll wound rolls of a 1. If it's units below starting strength, you reroll everything. That's a very common one for Yncarne stuff. He's good. He's got a 2-up invuln. He doesn't come back to life on the Yncarne version, right?
Nope. You should know with the 2-up invuln. You cannot reroll it, and if you ever fail it, it goes away.
Where does it say that?
In War Gear abilities.
It does?
Yeah. That's how the Archon always worked.
Oh, I did not know that.
So the way Scary uses him at least is until he goes down to 1 wound, just use the normal save. Unless you have to, of course. Because when you're at 1 wound...
normal save is 4-up.
And then cover for 3-up. It's just...
No, thank you.
If you can, use the normal save as much as you can until you get down to 1 wound.
He loses the save, you mean?
If he fails the save, the invuln's gone. So you save the invuln until you're low health. Then it doesn't matter
if somebody uses a las cannon into you,
you're going to use the invuln.
You need to use it. Exactly. Yeah. So
that's why you just
depends.
try.
Situational.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Against smaller shots, try to use your regular save, get your 3 up, and then if you're down to 1, start 1 rolling each of them. That's a pretty good idea. It comes from Scary, so it must be good.
He did it to me, and it was very annoying because then those 2-ups did not stop.
He is the Archon, so he should know how to use himself. Yeah, he's all right. Like I said, he's good with you can attach him to. I like the Visarch. He's a little cheaper than the Visarch, so that's nice. He doesn't do what he does, no fights first, but he's good in close combat. If you want to take, I would take him with Incubi, I guess. Do some damage in close combat. I would put him right along the same. Put him ahead of Visarch. Situational.
I would not put him below situation at all, just because of the cheaper stratagem use. That is always good.
No, it's always good.
Next up is one I actually don't know at all. So
Succubus.
I honestly don't know what this one does.
45 points.
And it's double the wounds of the other one that's 45 points.
You can only take her with witches, though. And I don't think... I just think she's not going to be used.
They could just get...
I would put her in bad choice. Because you have... you're taking Incubi if you're taking Yncarne. Lucas sent us the reasoning for why. Where did you send it?
He sent it on Discord.
On Discord? I'll read it after, but I believe you.
I actually like the Succubus better.
Why?
Is it Succubus?
Why?
Better than the Spirit Seer.
But they're two different.
Not the Spirit Seer. The clown one. The one we put in bad choice.
Oh, you like her better
than the clown
witches?
Spirit Weaver?
Yeah, she's more usable.
Actually, I kind of like her better than a Warlock. Oh, the Warlock's down there.
Warlock's crap.
Anyway, fights first is nice if you're hurt.
She's with witches.
Yeah.
Which don't really fight as hard as Incubi, so I'd rather take like.
That's it. I'm trying to. Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to make the best out of a crappy situation.
Yes. Yvraine.
Yvraine. She's actually good. Like I said, good weapon. Profile D6 +3, hitting on 2s, anti-infantry 2+. She spams out dev wounds. Of course, it's only 1 damage, because that would be broken. If it was 2, it would be, what was the thing called? What was the dev wound 2 anti-infantry and Adamek called?
Oh, no, it wasn't Adamek. It was Death Watch.
No, it was Adamek. Remember, Justin used to run him. The sterilizer guy.
Oh, the sterilizer, yeah. The flamer with dev wounds that he could get +3 attacks on.
Yeah, it was dev wounds on 2+, because it was anti-infantry 2+.
Yeah,
I believe, or 3+. And either way, same kind of ability. This one's psychic. Which means because it's psychic.
You could feel no pain with some stuff.
Certain armies can feel no pain it. Yeah.
And it's only 1 damage.
Close combat is decent. 5 attacks, devastating wounds on close combat as well. So she can stack a lot of devs. Her abilities are pretty good. She can bring back models.
And the thing is with the bring back models is on a dice roll. It's not automatic like a lot of other ones.
No, it's not automatic, but it can happen.
Most other ones are automatic.
Quite a bit. Yeah, I think she's strong for her abilities. I don't think I like her as like a lone unit almost. Or you can take her with like, I wouldn't, maybe bring her up with some Incubi.
I don't think I'm a fan of this version of her.
I wouldn't take her with witches. I wouldn't put her with Kabalite, because Kabalite are going to go inside your venoms. The only unit I would take her, maybe Storm Guardians are going to be more like defending. I wouldn't take Storm Guardians, but I would take Guardian Defenders in certain lists. And I don't think she would suit fitting like with them. They're going to be like hanging back. Only thing I can really, Corsairs are garbage. I would take her with Incubi if you want to do that. So you have a bit of shooting with your Incubi before you charge in. She moves fast enough to stay with them. That could be a good combo. I think she's like bottom of strong.
Think so?
Or like just below Acer. I think Acerman's a bit better than her. Or maybe, yeah, he's better.
Personally, I'm not a fan of this version of her. I don't know why.
She's very similar. She's very similar from what she was, but Points wise, she's only 100 points.
Only
for a lot of mortals.
4 wounds.
You could do a lot of mortals.
Yeah.
Especially if you put her with a unit that's gonna like do close combat, and people are gonna like start, give her some
vehicle meta, and then she's expensive.
There's not vehicle meta right now. It's MSU.
MSU for Eldar.
For a lot of things. Well, Guard are gonna go like this.
Guard are now probably gonna be Hammer or combined.
Yeah. On to battle line.
Yes.
Finally, characters are done. Woo!
It was only 1 or 2 characters. It wasn't that bad.
Woo! Yeah, 1 or 2.
It's only like a third of the list right there.
It's like the entire list. Oh man. Corsairs. What do you think of Corsairs?
I don't know if I got the right Corsair here, but who cares? Because who the hell's taking Corsairs?
Nobody. They're a horrible choice. Don't take them.
60 for 5 models with 1 wound and a 4-up save.
Do not take Corsairs. Do I need to go through them? Do I need to tell you why they're bad?
Fuck them.
No, you know what? Let me just look at this right now for a second.
One guy could have an invuln. It rerolls hit rolls at 1.
I want to give them an actual.
They're a kill team. They were a kill team, weren't they?
They're what?
They were just a kill team that now have rules, which means they have a lot of stuff that makes them expensive.
You know what? They're okay. I'll say situational.
How many points are Storm Guardian? Or yes,
put them. They're still battle line. Their melee weapons are. You could take a power sword. I don't know.
You wanted to put them in situation?
They're just cheap. That's why I'm looking at their points.
It's 5 models.
I know, but they're 60 points. You can hold back lines with them.
That's 12 points per wound. On a 4-up.
They're not great. I'm saying like I would put them at bottom of situational, like just above.
Situational,
like
really?
Put them at the bottom of situational, yeah.
Okay.
They're all right. 60 points. They're not as useless as you think. They're 2 OC.
I mean, yeah.
You can steal objectives.
60 points.
Cram them in, steal an objective. They move 8, 7. You can give them, +2. You can do all that stuff. Advance them, put them on an objective, steal the middle objective, and they just go down 60 points. Who cares? And then you denied, 5 points. Yeah. All right, we have them there. Guardian Defenders, the next ones. They're actually pretty good. They're actually pretty good, but you have to take them in, Stormhost attack. Not Stormhost. What's it called? Imagine all these new detachments. Remembering all of these. Warhost.
Aspect Host? No, Warhost. Yeah.
I would take them in Warhost. They're pretty strong. Look at their ability. What do you think?
Well, free movement is always good. Free movement is nice, especially with how fast they are. So you can move, and then they can back for free.
They can use an agile maneuver, and you can use it again, even though they used it.
Oh, it's not for free. They can do it if someone else already did it.
Yeah, or they can do it, and then someone else can still do it.
Oh.
So it doesn't count as being used. So they can get shot at, move, and then your tank gets shot at, and it'll move.
The main thing then would be if someone shoots these guys first, and you use it on them, you can no longer use it on a normal unit.
Are you sure? It doesn't say. It says it doesn't count as.
Oh no! You do it without spending a battle focus token. It could do so even if other units have done it. It can happen
in the same phase. They can still do it.
It can. It's
so
right
for
after
that
you get
reason,
shot, right?
For that reason, put them at the top of strong.
It's after you get shot. So if you shoot them first, you wouldn't be able to use it somewhere else.
Why would you shoot them first in their shooting phase?
Well, because now I know about that, I would shoot them first to force you to use it there.
No, but you can still do it at another time. You can still do it a second time.
No, I'm saying if you do it on the Storm Guard... What are these? Storm Guardians? No. Guardian Defenders?
Performs a feedback agile maneuver without spending a battle focus token to do so. It can do so even if other units have done so in the same phase and do not use it to prevent... It says and doing so does not prevent other units from performing the same agile maneuver in the same phase.
Oh, damn.
Which means I can do it after they do it.
I tried to big brain it and I failed.
You're not big braining it. Just read the words.
It was the last sentence that got me.
They're strong. They're strong, definitely. I'm gonna say, you know what? They might be tournament standard because for Warhost, don't you have to take these guys?
You don't have to, but it's good.
Who's gonna be taking your objectives? Put them at the bottom of strong on tournament. Honestly, I have to take that into consideration because people are running Warhost, and they're gonna be a very much needed unit, I think, to get objectives. Yeah, they're strong.
Right. Yeah, we have
We'll see.
Storm Guardians.
Yeah, they're garbage.
I honestly didn't know these existed for like years because it's just melee Guardian defenders.
Them. You have defenders, so their abilities crap compared to that. They're like definitely don't take. Bad choice. Not don't take, but bad choice.
They get
Bottom
a 5-up invuln.
Who cares? They don't get a 5-up invuln.
They do from the Serpent Shield.
That's one guy.
He gives it to the unit. Models in the Bears unit have a 5-up invuln.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Big deal. Look at their close combat. They're 2OC. That's probably the best thing about them.
Said they're a bad choice?
Yeah, a bad choice. Unless you think otherwise.
No, I agree. I put them above like most of the other stuff in bad choice. Just because they're 2OC and you get multiple models.
Put them in the middle of the Succubus and put it like second last in bad choice.
Really?
They're not as bad as bad can be. And then we got the Kabalite Warriors.
These guys are annoying.
So good. Tournament standard for Ynari.
If you're playing, that's the thing though. If you're playing Ynari,
but you have to take that into consideration. Their tournaments, like you're going to see them in every. If you don't take Kabalite in your army, and Venoms going around sticky and everything and annoying people, then how you're going to use Aspect Warriors to take your objectives? They need to be taken. They're tournament standard for Ynari. You need and Shneed. Do you disagree?
No, I definitely get. If you're Ynari,
or
it's definitely
nice weapons. Like Anthony. Okay, I know it's only Kabalite shooting them, but I mean, they get. Let's just look through this.
I do completely agree with it, especially if you're in Ynari.
Blaster, Shredder, and a Splinter Cannon. You can take 4 of those. Then they have their regular guns, and then their close combat weapon for their leader.
They're 10 more points
going into Venom, so 5 and 5. Beautiful.
They're 10 more points than Guardian Defenders, but they get an invuln, and they get all those weapons. They could also get, they could split.
They split into the Venoms, into the transports. Yep. Guinness.
They are good. They're very good.
They are very good.
And
yeah, hell yeah.
Witches.
I don't like witches. I'll let you place them. I'm not a fan of them.
Why would you take? I just can't think of a reason. If you're playing Ynari, you have
Remy's
so many.
Remy's in the chat.
Anyway, yeah, if you're playing Ynari, you have so many better choices.
What's up, Remy?
Also, they're only a 6-up invuln. A 6-up save, 6-up invuln.
Yes.
And the invuln, it's a 4+ in melee. 4+ invuln.
And just take more Kabalite. 90 points for witches. Not a fan.
I'm borderline don't take with them.
Skari might disagree, but they're probably better for Dark Eldar.
I like them better than the Warlock.
The what? Oh yeah, he's better than the Warlock. I would say don't take still.
That's where I put him.
Good. You made that decision, so Reddit, take it out on him.
Oh no.
Oh, I love my witches.
I could see why you would take them.
What are those?
They could absorb a melee unit, maybe.
Yes. Onto dedicated transports.
That is a Star Weaver I put there, right?
That's a Star Weaver.
Perfect. They're good.
Guns are crappy. The guns are crappy. They do get.
They're cheap.
Some good speed. They're 2OC, big deal. 4-up invuln is nice on a vehicle.
Fast, cheap. It's very annoying with troops because you can go back in within 6 inches.
Remember, you can only put Harlequin units in this transport.
Yes. That's why it's very annoying. Like imagine you had a troop master with troops, and then they have a Star Weaver nearby, so they go in, charge. Remember what Scar did to me?
Mm-hmm.
He just went up, charged me, killed the unit, and went all the way back into it.
Those are venoms.
He yo-yoed with it. He did it with a venom instead, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
You just yo-yo.
So it's going to be for clowns only. Clown detachment is not the greatest right now. I'm going to have to say situational above. Should I put him above Baharoth? Yeah, put him above Baharoth. Put him above Baharoth for sure. Yeah. So I'll put the transport thing. Transports are still transports. They're more useful than you think. How many models does it transport though?
6.
That's pretty good.
It's a small transport, but it's cheap, fast, and does the yo-yo.
They're just hanging off the wings there.
And you're probably taking the clowns in 6s anyway.
If it had a better gun, it only has a shuriken cannon. Like if it had something a little bit more decent, like a bright lens, no.
The 4-up invuln makes it especially annoying because if you shoot your anti-tank into it, it could just save all of it. But then it's going to die to like a bolter.
I know. I just like... It's not bad. It's not bad. Clowns have other vehicles that dish out their damage, so it's more for the transporting stuff. Wave Serpent.
Oh man, why is this thing so tanky?
So good. What's stopping me from putting the Wave Serpent like in tournament?
Do you ever need more than one?
Oh, you could take 2 Wave Serpents if you... Depends what you're doing. Some people would probably combo a Wave Serpent with a Falcon because Falcon has abilities to deep strike. What do you think? -1 to wound it with your weapon skill. Your weapon strength is greater than its toughness.
Can't you already... I guess you could fortune through Eldrad instead, but that's just... It's a built-in... Is it fortune?
What?
Someone gives -1 to wound in your army, or they did. As a psychic spell.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's around anymore. It was the Farseer on a bike. I think that's gone.
Either way, that's a very good ability because last cannons wounding on 4s is not ideal.
It is not ideal. You're correct.
It has the 13 wounds is annoying. The invuln's annoying. I look at this and I'm like, that's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying. It moves fast. It's a transport.
Here's the thing. So I was talking to a bunch of good players. Some of them are world-class players for Eldar. And they're saying it's not tournament standard.
Nice.
But then they're going to tell you Fire Dragons are the must-take unit. Number 1 must-take unit in Eldar. How the hell are you delivering Fire Dragons then? Consistently.
Falcon?
Are you going to walk them up? I know there's a lot of extra movement Eldar get, but like, yeah, you put them in a Falcon. It's not as good as a Wave Serpent.
Yeah, it's not as
tanky.
Transport
capacity. You can't take 10 of them if I want to.
The Falcon could also be like screened.
It's more expensive too.
Is it?
The Falcon gets screened out. Yeah, it's more expensive to take a Falcon than it's only 125, I believe, for a 125
for the Wave Serpent.
Falcon's what? A Wave Serpent is 125. A Falcon is
130. Only 5 more, but it gets
5 more points. They get deep strike, but again,
the Falcon has one less wound. It doesn't have the -1 to wound.
Yep. And coming from deep strike, you count as moving.
Yeah.
So no 15-inch disembark for your.
You'd have to do it next turn.
For your fire dragon, if you're still there. What's stopping me from putting it in tournament standard is not everybody is running you need. So it's not fair to say that it's going to be in every list.
So strong.
So strong ahead of everything except the Autarch.
Transport, it's good. It's always good. It has a lot of nice guns. It doesn't really get just melee anymore, does it?
Here's why I put it there. It's the best attachment, and because it needs the best attachment, in my opinion, it's Fire Dragons are very much needed, and you need this vehicle. So for that reason alone, if you need was not as good of a detachment, I'd put him down to like situational, bottom of situational. But because they're good right now, can't say that can't go there. Yep. It's almost in tournament standard, in my opinion, because if a lot of people are running you need, you're going to see Wave Serpents. Next, transport is it my boys yet?
No, it's the Raider.
The Raider.
Which
I have no use. I don't know.
And the thing with this is why I get why you would take this over the next
You have
one.
Dark Lance. You have Dark Lance, and you have the disintegrator cannons.
You're gonna take
which do a lot of damage.
It's one Dark Lance though, just one.
I know.
It has it has firing deck 11, which is funny.
It's firing deck 11. You can throw in your
it's
incubi.
A big transport.
Not incubi, Kabalite.
One thing that I find kind of a shame though is auto advance 6, but then you can't disembark.
No, it just makes you really like
each time this one advances, do not make just add 6.
Yep, it's OC2.
Unless you have a stratagem to do it, you move fast, and then you can't even do the Dark Eldar thing.
It's 80 points, but it's very clunky. It's a big model. It's going to be hard to maneuver around. I'd rather pay 7. Okay, just
it's squishy.
Put it in bad choice.
Yeah, you don't need this when you have the next one.
Yncarne Venoms are much smaller. They move the same way. They don't get your auto 6, but they move just as fast. You can give them +2. They go 16. Does the so 6-up invuln on it, and
the 6-up's annoying.
And you can split units into them. So you can split you can break up your incubi units. I keep saying Kabalite. I keep saying incubi because I want to play them this week. 5 and 5, and then you tag some objectives, make them sticky, and then fly somewhere else, or you can disembark, fly your Venom somewhere else to do an objective. Do a secondary, whatever you want. I did it to Anthony yesterday. I dropped off my Kabalite with the heavy weapons, and I flew to do engage on all fronts, and he just sat there for a turn. But it's easy, right? Move 16 inches, give him +2, and you get it automatically.
The main thing with this is I actually do like the guns better.
And they're small. You can go around stuff very easily.
The only unfortunate thing is that it's only 10 points cheaper than a Raider, but you lose 2 toughness, you lose 4 wounds, and a lot of transport. But it's small.
The Raider's so clunky. Yeah, Anthony, the Raider's so clunky to do things. You're gonna have to like pivot and do a bunch of bullshit.
It's clunky, annoying, and the Venom just the split thing is very good.
Yeah, exactly. So Venoms I would put in A tier strong underneath the right underneath because they're I'd put it underneath Yncarne. Not Yncarne, Yvraine. Just because you don't 100% need them. Like they're great. You can really annoy people sticking objectives with your Kabalite, but you don't 100% need them in every situation. But put him underneath Yvraine.
All right.
What would you say is their downfall for them? Squishiness?
It's squishy for its points cost when compared to a Raider. That's the only complaint I have about it.
That's fine. 70 points is it's such a small little vehicle though, and you can just maneuver so easily around things and get where you need. I just love it.
It's not always about the profile and the guns though. It's like what can it do, and it's so easy to maneuver from its size.
Yeah, and like a Star Weaver's 80 points, but the only difference is people are going to say, well, why are you dissing the Star Weaver? Because it only takes clowns. This one takes the things I need. Yncarne. Right. So that's why it's better. Clowns are not as good right now.
Corsair Voidscard.
What?
The Corsair
you
Voidscard.
have to announce, Anthony, we are no longer in transports.
We're finally free, and we're on to the rest of the book.
Yes, the Corsair. I'll let you read the profile.
Did I pick the right picture for it, or did I swap them by mistake?
No, that is. I want to make sure what that is.
It's either the Voidscard or the other Corsair. There's only 2 of them, so it was like a 50-50 guess.
It doesn't look like the right one to me.
Oh.
No, but it's okay. We'll use it as that. That's the
other one?
The Voidscard. Yeah, the Corsair Voidscard.
At the start of the battle, select one of your opponent. What?
It's don't take. It might be the worst unit or second.
It costs more than the battle line one. Has worse OC, and you get a buff against one enemy unit.
Yeah, it's YGWY.
Once per turn, what is the point of this?
Bad. That's what the point is.
That's the worst thing I've seen so far, by far. 80
All right.
points for 5 1-wound models with only one guy gets an invuln.
Put them at the bottom and don't take, please.
I did. That's just holy shit. And then you have like these 10 different things that could take. Okay. What a clusterfuck.
Onto the Crimson Hunter flyer.
I assume that's the right one.
0 OC, 5 up invuln. It only gets buffs, add 1 to hit and 1 to wound against other flyers, which you're not going to see on the table because people don't take flyers.
It's an aircraft.
So it's an aircraft. Is it against? That targets a unit that can fly. Okay, that's better than I thought. I thought it was only aircraft, but it's if you have the keyword fly, which is a lot better. Add 1 to hit, add 1 to wound.
It's squishy for a plane. Like Eldar are squishy, so I understand that, but compared to other aircraft, this thing is squishy for an almost similar cost.
It's sometimes buffed. Its range weapons are pretty
T8
good.
With a 3
has
up
bright lance
save.
and pulse laser. I would say
that's bad.
Bottom of bad choice.
You wouldn't put him in Dante. I don't know. I just
bottom of bad choice.
If you're in aircraft mode, he can't hide, and he's very squishy.
He's situational to where he does damage, so he can at least do damage to flying vehicles.
With what guns?
Or even like a Demon Prince flies, he could do damage.
He gets 2 star cannons that can be replaced with bright lances, which you probably will.
Which is a lot of damage.
And 1 pulse laser.
That's pretty good. Like, it's not bad for 160 points. It basically gets more than a Falcon does. And a Falcon's 135. And he flies, can get anywhere you need. It's not horrible, but
he
it's
can
not
one-shot a big thing that has fly, I guess, yeah.
It's not great, though. No Elf Titans in this one. We're not doing Titans. They're not usable at all.
So nothing in Forge World is here.
Yeah, which is how 40k should be played. Thank God Forge World's gone. People are
Forge World, Legends are not in. If I had Legends, double the size of this.
Just get rid of like what's it called? 30k as well.
They already did. It's all Legends.
It's all Legends.
It's all Legends.
Well, yeah, you can't. Well, 30k.
All the 30k stuff got sent to Legends.
No. I'm talking about like the actual game, like Horse Heresy.
Oh, the actual game.
I'm like, just get rid of Horse Heresy. Anyways, so he's at the bottom of a thing, right? Yeah. Hey, something I was trying to try out yesterday. D cannon.
D support weapon platform. Woo.
The D cannon. You know what? One thing is, they move 7 inches, which is better than what it used to be.
I find this thing funny because you can more than double the cost of a Guardian Defender unit by adding 1 of these.
They're just expensive. Like if they were 100 points, I'd think about it, or 95, 125.
The nerf to indirect
you can't auto dev anymore. You can't use your fate dice, so you got to roll everything out.
Indirect doesn't hit that well, and devs don't spill over anymore.
That's not even a spillover. It's you're not before you were guaranteed to get at least like 2 because you can at least roll 1, and if you don't roll 1, I'll use a fate dice for guaranteeing 1. Have a Farseer close. Can't do that anymore. So
I think its ability is stupid as well.
It can still lock down the middle of the field a little bit. Like people get scared to get close to them, but you'd have to take 2 to even make that remotely a thing. I'm not spending 250 points on this, so I'd put them in like bad choice.
I don't like its ability of you can reroll a damage roll of 1 unless it's Titanic.
Yeah, no.
Great. Where'd you put in bad choice?
Put him above the flyer.
Next up.
Dark
Reapers. Are these things just like missile launchers? Oh, it literally says missile launcher.
Dark Reapers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Exarch can take a upgrade to his weapons. He can take the Tempestus launcher, which is an indirect 2d6 AP1 1 damage weapon, or is it 2 damage?
Oh, he can take
it is 1 damage.
Reaper launcher. So he can instead take a missile launcher, shuriken cannon, or other one.
Which you wouldn't take a shuriken cannon. You can take a Tempest launcher.
Why would you take a Reaper launcher over a missile launcher? Or sorry, yeah, why would you take a missile launcher over a Reaper launcher?
D6? D6 damage?
It's D6 damage for the main shot. Yeah. It hits on 2s, and the other weapon is D6 with blast instead of just 2 shots.
No, the Reaper one is either you get D6 with 1 damage or you get 1 shot for 3 damage.
No, the Reaper launcher, the big shot is 1 strength 10 AP 2 3, just flat 3 damage.
I just said that. Are you deaf today?
No, but then the missile launcher, you said D6.
No, I said there's 2 profiles for the missile launcher. You get the D6 shot for 1 damage, or you get the 1 shot for D6, and then or the Reaper launcher for straight 3, but you get 1 shot.
Why would you take the missile launcher over the Reaper launcher?
Because it has 2 profiles, so you get your infantry stuff.
But so does the Reaper launcher.
Yeah, but it's not as many shots.
But you only get 1 missile launcher.
Huh?
You only get 1 missile launcher.
Yeah, but you get D6 shots instead of 2 shots.
At worse strength and worse AP.
So, people want more shots. People want more shots.
And for the, I think the little confusion before, I think we have a little bit of delay.
Well, you get blast on it, so if you're shooting into a unit of 10, you get 2 more shots automatically.
It hits on 2s as well.
Yeah, you hit on 2s. That's right. So it's just more anti-infantry if you want that one. That's not the reason. This doesn't do anything for the unit. The unit hits pretty well. Your 3 damage can stack pretty decently against infantry. You're not going to try to like throw this into a big. You could go into a tank and try to like pling off 6 wounds.
You could, yeah.
I like the Tempest launcher because it's indirect, but it's AP -1 nowadays. Everybody's going to have cover. They're still good. They're a good unit. I see people taking 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them at least. So like I'd say strong. I put him above like Osterman at least. They're right there. Yeah, the missile launcher hits on 2s. That's what Anthony was saying. So it does hit better, and then you get a little more. You have a chance that you have blast. So if you shoot into a unit of 10, you're automatically at 2. You're going to be at 3 minimum. You roll your D6. You might get like, let's say 5 shots on average into a blast unit instead of 2 straight shots, and then you're hitting on 2s instead of 3s, and then the rest is pretty much the same except minus the strength, like you said. But usually you're shooting into a crappy unit. So would being strength 4 to strength 5 be a huge difference? Rolling 4s instead of
Marines,
3s?
it's a big difference.
Yeah, if you're shooting to Marines, I guess so.
I mean, if you get +1 to hit from another source, I think I'd rather have the Reaper launcher over the missile launcher.
They're still a strong unit. They're good.
Yes, they're good.
We talked about Dire Avengers already. Should we just put them in bad choice? Because we spoke about them 4 times and talked shit about them 4 times. Let's talk shit about them for the 5th time. Bad choice? I'd put them. They're not like right at the bottom. I'd put them ahead of my what's his name there, the sniper. I put him ahead of there.
Oh, ahead of the sniper. I was
going to
put
him
in
number 1
place.
Bad choice. They still. Let's go through their stuff. Like, they used to be so much better. Assault. 4 shots with the Shuriken catapult. Strength 4, AP 1 damage. They don't get. I mean, you put them in with Asterman. Obviously, they're going to get more abilities. But at the end of the day, sustain hits 1 is still a thing. You have to be within half range, though.
Yeah. Which is
you
nice.
Can make them sustain. You can make them crit on 5s if you liken a unit, and then they get crit 5. So now they're sustaining on 5s, which is going to bring you probably 50% more dice on average. I still have them as a bad choice because there's so many better aspect warriors in them right now. I want them to be good. I love Dire Avengers. They used to be so good. 9th edition, I love them.
Why do you like them? Because they feel like the basic elite troop.
They're just good. They used to like sustain hits were so good, and their Shuriken. Remember the Shuriken rule in 9th edition?
Oh yeah. Oh, +1 AP if you got a 6 or something, or +2 AP. It was +2.
Storm Guardian. Yeah, I'm not liking the Storm Guardians. We like the Defenders better. Please tell me how you use Storm Guardians.
Yes, you teach, Claudio.
No. Wait, you put them in bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Storm Guardians. Defenders are Defenders are in tournament, in my opinion. They have some good stuff.
The only thing that might be confusing at a glance if you know Eldar is the Corsairs, because I might have gotten them backwards. I don't know what Corsairs are supposed to look like.
They have a 5-up invuln, you said, but I don't know.
That's nice. That's about it.
That's about it. Wait, Anthony, you have them backwards.
Which ones? The Corsairs? No, the Storm Guardians are the melee ones, right?
Yeah, but those are both Storm Guardians, I think.
No, the other one has a gun.
Is it?
The one in Tournament Standard has the Shuriken gun, and the one in Bad Choice has a chainsword.
I thought Defenders have the... let me see what the picture they use. Yeah, that's fine. You have the Storm Guardians then. The Defenders do have guns, so that's fine.
Because one's the shooting variant, one's the melee variant.
Yeah. You're bad. No, I'm just kidding. Falcon. We talked about the Falcon a little bit.
Falcon's
it's
nice.
Good. Deep strike. You can put Reapers in there if you want. Put them in a good location. You're probably gonna put your Fire Dragons in there though. With Fugin. Or but we like the Wave Serpent better, so you're not gonna put it above the Wave Serpent. It does have better guns than a Wave Serpent though, does it? You get a bright lance.
I think it has a bit better guns. I do like it
Wave
better
Serpent
than...
gets a bright lance.
I think I like it better than Dark Reapers.
It gets a... Yeah, I mean, weapon-wise, it's not going to do much more damage than a Wave Serpent. It doesn't have -1 to wound, like a Wave Serpent. It has Deep Strike. And it has the ability coming out of the transport, right?
Fire support is very powerful.
You can reroll the wound roll coming out of the transport, but
if you shoot at the same thing that the Falcon shot.
But do you need that with Fire Dragons? Because you're rerolling everything.
Fire Dragons, no. The Dark Reapers, yes.
If you have Dark Reapers, yeah. +1 or rerolling everything to wound is nice. I wouldn't put it that high.
No?
I don't think so. I'd put him underneath Yvrine.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not an auto take. Fire Dragons.
Everybody's bread and butter right now.
Can I say one thing about the Fire Dragons? Because I've played them so much. Like, I've literally run them in multiple different ways. You've seen me use 1, you've seen me use 2, and you've seen me use 3.
3 felt like overkill.
It does feel like overkill. Here's the bigger thing. I don't care about overkill if they're actually doing something.
Yeah. When you have 3, the third one feels like it's never doing enough.
They're just like, hey guys, I'm in the corner over here coming out of reserve, and what did they do? So my other 2 that came out of the transport against you yesterday blew up 2 or 3 tanks. 2 tanks.
Yes.
A Dorn and another tank. The other one came in from reserve and blew up a Torox, which was all right, but there was like over here where nothing was like mattering. It just feels like whenever I run 3 Fire Dragon units, that third unit is never doing what their points are worth.
You know what I find it generally is with that kind of stuff? It feels like you're taking 3 units for a 2.5 unit job. So the third one never feels like it does enough.
Well, here's the thing. They're so efficient. I know they're going to get their job done. Remember how cocky I was when you were playing Tau, and I was like, no, this is gone, and this is gone. And then they whiffed. So that's where it comes in for me. The third unit is like, if one of these units whiff and get murked, I still have one that can come from reserve and kind of back it up. But is it worth it in a game where everything's going your way? No. But it's worth it in a game where you're kind of getting shit stomped or you need them very badly. You're like, yeah, at least I have another unit of Fire Dragons.
So you're using it as like anti-bad luck protection or anti-whiff?
I don't think so. I don't know if Storm Guardians are one of the strongest choices.
Hey, you got a hot take. It's always good to have a hot take. That means you have your own personal opinion. You're not copying everyone else.
I don't think it's a hot take because what's his name? Harpstead literally ranked them in. I think he put them in don't take.
I don't really see the point to them with other stuff.
Huh? Jack Harpstead, Art of War.
Cowboys have risen like a phoenix.
I don't know. So I talked to a lot of good Eldar players, and some of them, and we're talking like world class Eldar players, right, Anthony? Like guys that win GTs and win.
You know all the best players.
Some of them say and this is the thing with Storm Guardians, I'm only, that's why I'm saying I'm judging per detachment, because in some detachments, of course, these guys are going to be better. Some of them say like Storm Guardians are like, they're like, just take Guardian Defenders, and then some of them are like dog trash. Don't even look at them. So it's like nobody was like, these are really, really good units you need to take. Nobody said that. So, but then Guardian Defenders, people are like, must take. Like, you need to take that in certain detachments, obviously. You can't take them in all the detachments. But I don't know. It's some of them are going to be where people don't like. That's all I can say. In my opinion, what makes? Let me go back and look at this. What makes you like that, Anthony? Like looking at them.
I don't like them. I don't know. Maybe you agreeing with me means you're wrong.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Look at Storm Guardians right now and tell me what makes them like strong.
The
end of your command phase.
Do they not get that chainsword in the picture?
What?
Are they not the melee variant of Guardians?
What?
I'm just looking at the picture because I'm looking at their melees. I don't see chainsword.
They're Storm Guardians. Yeah,
they have sticky, but you're getting that through Cablites already.
Big deal.
Yeah, Storm Guardians all have chainswords that they can't take anymore.
They have a 5-up invulnerable save.
Because of the Serpent Shield. They have sticky, but you're in Yncarne specifically, you're getting it through Cablites.
Please tell me why. Sticky? Sticky is why they're good? That's not enough. For a unit that, I can shoot with
Is it because they can get 2 flamers and 2 fusion guns?
Prove it. I want to see them win in a list somewhere, and I'll believe it. Sticky does not mean that they're going to be A tier.
Sticky is always very nice, but like
it's nice.
I don't know. You usually have stuff at home.
Yeah, I don't. Are
we boomers?
I don't agree. I don't agree. They're good. Defenders have a better ability, and I would take them over Guardian Defender. I would take the what's it called? The Defenders over the Storm Guardians, in my opinion. 100%. And
I have to agree with you with it. It's your army, and I know you're right here.
I mean, talk to Jake Harpstead. He's won 2 LVOs, and he said Guardian Defenders or Guardian Storm Defenders, Storm Guardians are garbage. I'll have his quote right here.
Yeah, you take them outside of Yncarne for sticky only. If you're taking one of them for sticky, I wouldn't call that tournament standard. Just because you take one for sticky.
Yeah, I mean, sticky's nice, but it's not like I need to take this. I need to have sticky. You don't need to have sticky. It's nice to have sticky, but sticky can go away very fast.
If you walk off of it, they might just deep strike it. So now you need a unit to stop deep strike.
Yeah,
which means you're on it anyway.
Is sticky going to matter when you have Storm Guardians? Like you're going to actually move them up, so they're going to get murked, and then your back objective, you're going to have to move Aspect Warriors back there to keep your sticky active. Like it makes no sense. I don't know. I'm going by what I think, and what it's. Listen, make a list and prove it. That's the only way to do it.
No, Claudio, it's the youth.
Diogo likes them too, though. I want to see Diogo use them, and I'll believe it. I am not a believer right now. Anthony's not a believer either. He doesn't like them. If Anthony said I kind of like them, then I'd look at it. But Anthony's saying nah.
Comparing it to the armies I play, I usually take a sticky unit because it's nice. But I'm not thinking of that unit, oh, this is a great unit I always want that is going to help me do damage. It's going to sticky. It's going to do all this for me. I look at it and just go, yeah, it exists.
Sticky's nice, but wouldn't you rather have? Well, not everybody's playing you need, so that's the thing you have to remember. I think maybe they're envious that you need has the good sticky, the real sticky. That you need has the actual sticky that is tournament standard, and then they're like, what about our sticky? It matters. No, it doesn't, because you guys are
comparing them to Cablites. You're splitting the Cablites, which yes, you have to take Venoms for that, but now you have 2 units running around doing sticky instead of one. What is 100-point unit?
And what are you putting your 10? And what are you putting them in? Are you putting them in a Wave Serpent so they can drive around in a Wave Serpent to go sticky another objective? It makes kind of weird. I don't know. Please tell me how you use. Please tell me. And Yncarne, you don't take them. The army has. I don't think you take them.
I mean, I'm glad you have a hot take. It just means like this is actually your opinion.
Post it on Reddit. Make people mold. Post this on Reddit.
The competitive Reddit.
Competitive Reddit. Okay,
what's we have next? A Reddit account. They could ping us right there.
Fire Dragons number 1, Anthony.
Number 1. Got it. Yeah, we were talking about Fire Dragons.
Fire Prisms. Here's another hot take. I'm going to make people get really salty now. I like Fire. I like them a lot. Like people are saying they're probably like mid, very mid. I think they're strong. And here's why. The MSU spam is real, right? You agree with me. We played multiple times. What is it like playing when I play Fire Prisms or when I don't play Fire Prisms?
When you play Fire Prisms, I'm afraid to put my tanks in any firing lane that matters.
Right.
And when you're MSU spam, at least I can kill 1 or 2 of those before you get to me.
You have better back screening as well. You can keep your tanks in the back there, get your lines. It just makes screening so much easier. On top of it, you have some long range firepower that can actually take out tanks. Makes you feel a little bit better about yourself moving forward. Because at the end of the day, if you just MSU spam, you run into demons, you run into like any kind of monster that's like T11 or T12, or tanks that are T11 and T12, you're kind of fucked. Striking Scorpions, Banshees, I don't care what you throw into 2 damage close combat weapons you throw into these guys, you're not going to kill these things. The only thing you really have is Fire Dragons, and if you go against a list that can screen that out, you're literally fucked with an MSU list. You're not going to score enough points because there's going to be too much taking you out. Because like we said, your maneuverability is really good with Aeldar, but you're gonna slowly whittle down. And you're not gonna be able to win late game. It's just the way it is, unless you have something there. The reason is I take 2. I don't feel you can run 1 Fire Prism effectively.
I think that's the hottest take thing you said. Where there are people surprised that you take 1, and you take 2 in Ynnari.
I don't think Fire Prisms run effectively as 1. I just don't. I don't think. First of all, 12 damage, even if you're not going, like most of the time, you're going to make 1 save because you're going to get cover, AP4, or I'll miss, even with a reroll.
I don't even think
you're not going to do.
I think it's because most vehicles are 13 wounds.
Yes.
Which means, you cannot physically kill it normally. Unless you get lucky with a shuriken gun.
It's not even killing it in 1 turn is not what I mean. I mean, like, the presence of having multiple big shots coming out. Also, people underestimate the ability for its anti-infantry. It's 2d6 shots with blast, I believe.
I wanted to mention that because it has some horrifying Overwatch.
Yes. And never mind the Overwatch. The Overwatch, yeah, if situational Overwatch with the anti-infantry gun. But you can literally shoot 2d6 weapons on an objective and obliterate it, even with 2 damage, 2 wound models. You saw me put that in on it. And Kenny, I was playing Kenny a couple days ago, and he's like, he was doing what's it called? Agents spam with his 4-up invul and bullshit, and 2 his guys all have 2 wounds. And these guys did crazy amount of work into that. And I didn't have to worry about putting my aspect warriors over there because I knew my tanks would handle it from 50 inches away. And it cleared chaff off the objective, and then I can move there with other stuff that can blink over there, like my spiders. So that's my explanation. I also think the list, even the you need list, functions much better with anti-tank, and I also think this is going to be a backup unit in the future because nerfs will come, and these start getting used to playing Fire Prisms because this is going to be the next unit to go to. 160 points is not that bad for what they do.
There is one other annoying thing with them. They could be affected by that fade back battle focus, and they are good. Like they're a little bit tanky. They're not that tanky. They're most likely not dying in 1 activation, which means if they line up to kill it to get revenge because it can destroy tanks, it gets shot and goes around a corner.
Yeah, you get shot and then he does his. I do my d6 + 1, move away. You can't shoot me anymore. So be very smart how you position it. You don't have to get the whole thing in vision. Just get it an inch out there, and that with your once you get shot, if you don't get obliterated, You get to move back. You roll your d6+1. You're guaranteed to move out of sight, at least in the first couple of turns, not afterwards when everything sees you.
It's annoying.
Yeah, my Fire Prisms did work in the last 3 games. I'm really considering taking them in my you need list. Like seriously, taking them now. Maybe going down to 1. Going back to the Fire Dragons, I think 2 is the sweet spot. 3 is like I said, it's like a nice reassurance knowing that I have another one if I ever need it. They're so efficient. They're going to blow up 2 tanks, 3 tanks probably if they don't get murked. And you don't need a third unit. Save that 110 points, put it into a
110, 160.
110. I'm talking about Fire Dragons.
Oh, Fire Dragons, my bad.
Only take 2 instead of 3. Use that 110 points to go into a Fire Prism so you have your long range support, and then go from there. If you want to take 2, I like 2 the way it functions. I might try 1 to just see how that functions as well and put some more MSU spam out there in my competitive list. But I'm going to put these guys in strong above Yavrin.
Really?
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
The next one I want to be a little quick with because
garbage. Put in.
It's 5 points cheaper than the Crimson Fighter.
Garbage.
Yeah, and it has worse profile, worse guns, worse ability.
It's useless.
I'm putting it. You know what? I think it's better.
All I gotta say is go see its weapons.
It's 5 points cheaper than the other flyer for everything being worse.
Just put it in between the Warlock and the and the whatever his name is. What's it called again?
Fair. At least it's not 2 wounds.
Banshees, amazing. AP -2, 2 damage. They fight first. Even advance and charge. What else do they got?
They have so many attacks that it even hurts my vehicles.
AP -2, 2 damage. Then you can get the big attack on the Exarch for AP -3, 3 damage. They're nasty. They're always going to fight first. You don't have to worry about using that on them. And they're really good. I'm going to put them in S tier. They're going to be right underneath. I'm not going to say Fire Dragons. I'll say underneath the Yncarne.
Yeah, better than Jain Zar because you don't exactly need Jain Zar with them, but Banshees are always good.
Well, you can't take Jain Zar in the Unity detachment.
You can't take any. You can't take 3 Jain Zars.
What?
And you can't take 3 Jain Zars. They work without her.
Their anti-infantry 3+ is another thing to note. And what was I going to say? 8-inch movement, so nice.
8-inch advance and charge, fall back and charge.
Fall back and charge as well. One thing I was going to say about them, they're a little bit squishy, but that's fine. All Eldar
I think they get a 5-up invuln, and they're not that expensive currently.
Not expensive. I wouldn't say run it. I tried running a 10-man unit of them. It's not worth it. Just run 3 5s. If you're going to run Jain Zar, you definitely don't need to run 10. You can just run 5 because she has a shit boatload of attacks. So on to the other indirect gun, the Night Spinner.
You never see this thing anymore.
It used to be really good. It used to be really good. They nerfed it a little bit.
A lot.
Points-wise.
190 points?
The gun is nice. It's D6 plus 3. So put it this way. You get D6 plus 3 shots, indirect fire, blast, twin linked, strength 7, AP1, 2 damage. The AP1 kind of whatever, but 2 damage. Did it used to have devs?
I was about to say, didn't this thing used to have dev?
Diogo would know because he ran these.
I'm pretty sure it used to have dev, and he would just bait for that.
Yeah, they did. I think they did have devs. So it did get nerfed. It's 3 OC. You're not going to take it because of the points. Is 190 points. I'd rather have the other stuff I talked about. And I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well run, what do they call it? The Shadow Weaver platforms.
Does it do the same thing?
They're basically the same. They don't have the same range, I don't think. I think they are
probably less shots and less range, but cheaper.
Let me see right now. The range it's D6 plus 2, and it's only strength 6, AP1, 1 damage instead of 2 damage. But you're paying 75 points instead of 190.
The main thing with this thing, I like its ability. The only problem I find with the ability is Eldar are so fast, you need to slow down the opponent. It's nice to slow down the opponent, but you will outrun them.
You can really cripple stuff, like things that move 5 inches, like what are they? The what do they call the Atomic guys on wheels?
Oh yeah, the breachers. Anything slow, it really
can make it really crawl. So that kind of stuff is nice.
Where'd you put it?
I'm gonna say it's bad. It's a bad choice.
Yeah.
Put him ahead of the Farseer on bike there.
I could see it maybe being situational. Maybe if it got a little cheaper.
Rangers.
Rangers. They're nice. They're good.
I'll place them first, and then I'll tell you why they go there. I'm going to put them in strong. They're going to go just under the Reapers and ahead of Asserman. Obviously, they can screen. They have infiltrate. They have a 5-up invuln. Their weapons are pretty good. They have precision on them, so you can do 2 damage per weapon. It's nice. It would be really nice if they had scout, but they don't. They have stealth. And they have a reactive move, the old reactive move. So if you come within 9 of them, they can kind of scoot back and get away from you. It's nice. The reactive move is always nice. They're cheap as fuck. They're only 55 points. They're good to get like an early aerial denial.
They can
get nice 5 points with them to get shot, and that's it.
They can be deceptively hard to remove because how much are you going to dedicate to removing this unit? And then if you failed, they're going to do it again.
They are stealth. You might as well to hit them. So
and the invuln. It's more the invuln that can make things deceptively tanky.
Yep. They don't have an X arc, so everybody's 1 wound, which is kind of sad. But that extra wound is sometimes annoying. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Someone asked earlier, can Eldar or Yncarne beat orcs right now? Like the Mordaka detachment.
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Because Mordaka is absurd.
I mean, it's a weird question when people ask that because of course they can beat them. It's going to depend on the player that's playing the orcs.
There's no matchup where you're 100% guaranteed to win.
Yeah, if you're saying that like 2 very good players playing each other, can Eldar beat the orcs? I think so. Yeah. Nothing's unbeatable in this game, unless you're 10th edition. 9th edition clowns.
No, they only had an 80% win rate when you include gear matches.
Only 80%.
So they sometimes lost.
With people that don't know how to play the army, half of them, because they just bought the army because they were so broken, they didn't know how to function, then they still were winning games. Yeah, it's easy to win when you're playing with 4,000 points.
So
worth of models.
The Shadow Weaver platform.
Garbage.
Yep.
What? Just put it in Shadow Weaver. Which one is this one? What does it look like? Is it the green one there?
It's the green one.
Yeah, that's don't take that. That's the one we just spoke about. It's
here.
It's a crappier version of the Night Spinner for a lot cheaper, but you would have to take
its ability is nowhere near as good.
You'd have to take 3 or 4 of them to be as efficient as one Shadow Weaver. As one Night Spinner. So 75 points, but you need to spend at least like 3, I'd say, to be.
It also doesn't slow down the opponent, which.
Yeah, I mean the slow is nice, but it's not needed. Okay,
next up, your favorite.
I want them to be good, but they're completely crap. No, don't put them in. Don't take. I meant bad choice.
Oh, like just below the other platform.
Just put them underneath the. Succubus. No, Succubus.
Oh,
actually, yeah. Put them underneath the Night Spinner. Just underneath.
Got it.
Shining Spears.
Your favorite unit.
Put them at the top of don't take. Ranged weapons wise. Shining Spears?
No, we're on Shining Spears now.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Shining Spears? Really?
What?
People find them annoying.
We talk about Shining Spears.
The ones that go through walls and do damage?
They're horrible. They're very bad.
That's a little surprising to me.
You didn't know they're bad?
I knew people didn't I knew they weren't good, but I didn't expect them to be that low.
Me and Lucas were talking shit about them for like an hour at the studio. Yeah. Weren't you there?
Yeah. It was funny. But I thought they'd at least be better than
they have cool abilities, like they can ignore terrain, they can fly and do all that stuff, but they're just glass cannons and they're 120 points for 3 models.
I expected them to at least be better than the platform we just ranked.
Anthony, they're 10 points more expensive than the most efficient unit in the freaking army. They're 120 points for.
Okay, that is very expensive.
They're not even going to kill 60 points worth of models.
But did you see?
They're
apparently, fast. Someone won an event with 18 of them. What event though? Was it a big GT or like an RTT?
Yeah.
What won it? Like, where did they win?
Yeah, it means nothing. That means nothing.
The size means everything.
I can like I said, I've gone to Anthony. I've gone to events with. Remember how bad were Death Guard?
In middle of 9th, they were awful.
And what was my score at that tournament?
Didn't you nearly win that RTT?
Yeah, I went 5-1 with one of the worst armies in that means nothing. That means nothing to do that because there was nobody really there that could stop me. Like it doesn't matter. Like if Diogo was there, I would have lost game 1 with that army. You know?
I actually like the next unit better than them because for one reason. The Shroud Runners are 40 points cheaper for the same amount of wounds and invuln.
Shroud Runners?
They have stealth, they have a 5-up invuln, they still have 3 wounds, and they're 40 points cheaper.
Good. Shroud Runners are situational, but they're good.
Yeah, they're better
than Shining Spears.
Yeah.
So, if you go into their melee profile, they look decent, right? They have Lance, anti-monster 3+, anti-vehicle 3+. They can do some decent damage into vehicles. And then they're gone. And that's 120 points. If you take 18 of these, your whole army is going to be dead in turn 3.
That's a third of their army. And that's really squishy.
Anyways, like to be efficient with these guys, you have to get into combat, right? You can't shoot them because their guns are garbage. They have to get within 8 inches. I wouldn't say they're garbage. You just have to get very close with these guys, and they lost their they have a shimmer shield on the Exarch. Fine, they lost their minus. They used to have a -1 to hit at all times. They lost that.
Yep.
Or, if they had -1 to hit and -1 to wound, then I would start, thinking, okay, we can take a few of these. But they're not tough enough. 18 in ops, all bikes attachment. 18 in
all bikes.
Yeah, I don't deny that people actually did. Like, I've won tournaments with off meta Eldar shit. Like, people were like, "What the fuck are you running, Anthony? You witnessed that?"
I don't want to dismiss it too much, but we have seen stuff like. We've seen agents win GTs. We've seen the sisters attachment of Custodes win GTs.
And Kenny played me with that. Kenny's a good player, and a very good player, and he played me with the agents list that won that GT. I'm not going to say it was a shit list. It was an actually very well put together list. It had like Death Watch that came out of the Rhino and did some crazy stuff, but it had no chance to win that game. Like, you have that guy who played that list probably knew that list very, very well inside and out, and who knows who his opponents were and what his matchups were, because that list has a lot of like counters to it. Yeah, as well as, like I said, Eldar are not unbeatable. They have a lot of things that can go into it. Lucas proved that. There's a lot of things. That Gene Stealer off meta list that he made absolutely wrecks you need. Like, you have no chance of beating it, because
that list had its specific the list Lucas made had what it was intended to kill, and you happen to be one of those.
No, but Yanid has no chance against that list. 0. You have no chance of beating that Tyranid list. Anyways, on to Shroud Runners.
I like them better than Shining Spears.
They're situational. They strip cover. They're fast. They can do objectives. You can always give them the +2. Any unit can get that, obviously. So they're fast. They can do things. They can strip cover. They're pretty tough. They have 2 wounds apiece, 3 wounds apiece.
They're shining. They have Shining Spears. Instead of a 3-up save, they're a 5-up save, but they have stealth. They still have the 5-up invuln, and they're 40 points cheaper for 3.
They're 40 points cheaper, and they have Scouts 9 and stealth. And Shining Spears don't have stealth. Does that make sense to you?
I guess, because they have camo cloaks on.
A unit that used to have stealth and used to have -1 to wound as well doesn't even have either of them. And then Scouts that are cheaper have stealth.
Claudia, you could go through walls.
And they have Scout 9. Much better unit. Situational still. They have Scout 9.
That's scary.
It is. They can position themselves really good. They have 3 wounds apiece. They -1 to hit. Their toughness, T4, so just like a Shining Spear. They're tougher than Shining Spears. They have 3 wounds apiece. What the fuck?
The Shining Spears also have 3.
Don't they have 2?
No, they're 3.
Oh, they have 3. Okay.
Yeah. I do like the Shroud Runner better.
Anthony. What? They have 2 wounds apiece, Shining Spears.
What?
Yes, only the Exarch has 3 wounds.
Wait, what?
Yes. Okay, now do you understand why they're dog shit? Okay.
I only looked at the Exarch. I didn't even know. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Please bring 18 Shining Spears into my 1,000 Suns list. I'll show you how fast those disappear.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna put the Shroud Runner above the Death Jester for me. I don't know where you want it.
Shroud Runner above. I put the Shroud Runner right now at the top of situational. They're good. Like you can actually bring them in some multiple lists. Stripping cover is not as bad as you think.
Oh, there's 3 wounds because they have 2 guys riding the bike instead of 1.
Yeah, the second guy takes the third headshot.
I'm sorry. That's just that's a little too silly.
Skyweavers.
That is a Skyweaver I put there, right? Clown?
Is it a Skyweaver? I can't see it. Oh yeah, that's a Skyweaver.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know the other models that well.
It looks like a Skyweaver, yeah. Close combat weapons for them. They can actually slap you in close combat slightly into infantry at least. Shuriken cannon. They can take a haywire cannon as well. They're pretty good shooting. Movement 14 ability. Do you like their ability?
It's annoying. And to some armies, that's very annoying.
It is -1 to the hit roll.
It's basically stealth, but I guess better.
It is
because it works in melee as well.
It works, yeah. It works melee and shooting. So
and it can stack with stealth if you somehow get that another way.
They're 95 points.
I
don't think
that haywire shit gives me like
the Haywire's
PTSD.
Great. Yeah.
The
Haywire's great.
And I play vehicle armies for the most part. I see Thomas show up with like max haywire cannons, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be table turn 3.
And okay, this is one model, right? It's 95 points, but it has a 4-up invuln, so that's pretty nice on a unit that has like it's only 3 wounds, but 4-up invuln is nice to have.
This is what Shining Spear damage should be.
But this is one model for 95 points, so you got to remember that. I still think they're. Oh, it's 2 models, yeah. So you got 6 wounds effectively.
Yep.
Instead of 2, 4, 7 wounds. And they're 95 points.
Yeah,
they have better guns. They have better guns.
And the ranged is dev.
Oh my god, why? What is GW smoking sometimes?
It's more than haywire. 4 of them have what? 8 shots.
Yeah.
That's a lot of devs you're gonna do. It's 3 damage. It's flat 3.
And they're not as good in close combat as Shining Spears, but who cares? Like you don't need to get into combat.
The Zephyr Glaive is nice, but yeah, the Zephyr Glaive is nice.
They don't have the fly ability like Shining Spears do. They can't go through stuff, but at the end of the day.
I think you would want the Star Bowls over the Zephyr Glaive just for more ranged.
Yeah. I'll put them like
they have smoke. Oh my god. Wait, they have smoke. That means you could stack stealth with their ability.
Also, they can be -1 to hit. They can be -2.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That's fucking annoying.
Put them ahead of Yeah, I definitely put them ahead of the other clown vehicle. There.
In situational?
Yeah, they're situational.
I was gonna say ahead of Yvrine.
It's clowns. Remember what I said. Yeah, there's dev wound hairwire. There's still dev wound hairwire cannons, Remy.
That's just so anti-vehicle. It's anti-vehicle 4-up.
It's anti-vehicle 4+ haywire.
Yep.
So on a 4-up, they get their devs. It's nasty. So
I think it's better than Yvrine.
The reason, like I said, Anthony, we're doing this situationally because where are you going to take that? You're going to take it with clowns. And clowns are not the greatest right now. Please buff clowns.
I could see these being in
striking scorpions. Anthony's favorite unit.
They're very annoying when I play guard.
People are it is haywire is very annoying. I'm going to talk about another haywire unit very soon that I used and I want them to be good, but they're just not as good as I thought they would be for me. Striking Scorpions. A lot of people are saying they're strong. They're a strong list. You don't need them. You don't have to take them. A lot of really good players are saying 1 unit, maybe 2. I'm running 3 of these guys, and they are winning the game for me most of the time.
I want them thrown into the pit of Mordor.
There's a reason they got nerfed, and it's not a stealth nerf. Like these guys are fucking good. If you spam 3 units of 5, you can get every single one of those units in the back line in the first turn, unless there's like a screening unit like on the other side, and you can still counter that. You can put 2 on one side. They have Scout 7, they move 7, then they can charge, and then they have
plus
infiltrate.
2 on one of them.
You can put them in the middle of the board, scout them 7 inches, make sure you're 9 away from any enemy units. Then you get to move in your movement phase, and then you get to charge. So, and they get, remember, they have 5s and 6s or crit, and they explode for sustained 1.
And they're 4 attacks each.
They have 4 attacks each. AP -1, 1 damage. That is nothing to laugh at. And then they have a 3 attack, AP 2 damage fist on their sergeant, strength 8 with doing 2 damage. It's not a joke. That doesn't sustain, sadly, but you can even do reroll 1s on 1 unit, and you can do a lot of damage with these guys. Am I going to say take 3 of them? No, but I definitely take 2. I like them. Nobody has them in tournament standard. I'm going to be the first one to put them in tournament standard. Put them underneath Incubi.
If you're playing Yncarne,
not Incubi, the Cabalites.
If you're playing Yncarne with them, they are, to me, so unbearable.
So good. I forgot the +2 as well. You give them the +2.
Yeah, it's just.
I love it.
My god!
So they're moving 9 inches.
They're going 9 inches after they scouted 7.
Then they charge.
At least they don't have advance and charge. Then it'd be really.
Oh, that'd be ridiculous. Then they just have every rule in the book.
I want these things
they have stealth
into Mount Doom. I want to go on a quest to get rid of these things permanently.
They have stealth. Remember that.
Yeah, they also have stealth.
That might be higher than most people expected. A lot of people are saying strong, mid strong to these guys to top is strong. I like them a lot. I think they're going to be
into a lot of armies. They just jail them on the first turn.
They should be in multiple. They should be in multiple detachments lists. At least one of these units. You want one infiltrate, and they're better than scouts because they can actually do damage in close combat. And you're going to be scared to like go into combat with them. You can give them fights first what you need. They're amazing. Next.
One more thing with the Scorpions. They force you to deploy so far back that you're losing like a turn of movement.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing against them, you are going to be deploying far back. Yeah.
Swooping Hawks, yes.
Yeah, we talked about their ability. You know, you can deep strike within 6, or not within 6, 6-inch deep strike. As long as you're within 8, you can do your mortal wound shenanigans. With certain detachments like Battle Host, you can shoot and run. You take Baharoth with him, you can do your uppy downy bullshit, and you keep doing that over and over and over again and just pissing your opponent off. Fire and Fade is a thing as well in the Battle Host, so you can shoot and then jump away. Baharoth gives them all automatic lethals on just as long as they hit. Right?
Yes.
I
have one question with them.
Fire and Fade is a thing, but the big bases and big ass tall models. So remember, you're gonna be sniped from all over the place.
But I do have one question. So it says with the ability, each time you use this unit's ability, until the end of the turn, you cannot target it with grenade, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you grenade first and then use the ability? Can you do that?
Can you read it?
Each time this unit uses this ability, until the end of the turn, you cannot target this unit with the grenade stratagem. It doesn't say if you use the grenade stratagem on them, you can't use the ability.
Yeah, grenade first.
So you can basically double grenade with them.
Yep. Are we wrong? I think the way it's worded, I think that's correct. If it says, let me read it. Grenade.
I think so. Imagine like a 10-man unit.
Movement phase. Oh, it's in your movement phase.
Yeah. Oh.
Grenades.
So it's before you can grenade.
Yeah.
Well, it says when it's set. Oh yeah, movement phase. Okay.
It's in your movement phase. So when
thank God.
When you move, you do it. Yeah. Anthony missed the most important part of that sentence.
So have you ever read how Zoomers read?
No.
They'll read like the middle, bottom, and then top.
That's weird.
And I accidentally keep doing that. Because I'll read like once per turn, I'll skip to the end, and then look at the middle.
Is that more ADD than anything?
Maybe, but I've seen somebody do a post about it where it's like the zones you read in, and I'm like, shit, I do that.
I only do that for Warhammer stuff, but I always read the first line because I want to know when it happens. Yeah, I get it. It would have been nice to do both, but it gets triggered first, so you have no choice.
I'm glad I'm wrong.
GW outthought you.
Hey, they did their job.
They're better than Baharoth because they're just going to be, again, Baharoth's not a guaranteed take, where I can see them being taken for like objective stuff, like behind enemy lines, teleport homers, or whatever it's called now, deploy the locust. What's it called now? Locust?
Oh, establish locust?
Establish locust, yeah. And Justin was calling it deploy the teleport locust for so long that
no, he's established the like locust homers or something. I don't know. He keeps changing it.
Homers. I put them higher than that. I'd put them yeah, I'd leave them there. That's fine.
Kennedys with Baroth and aspect with sustained lethals and the mortals on average. Because yeah, if you do 10, you do 5 mortals, and then you'd have to do enough for. Can you get?
Put them ahead of the void. Put them ahead of the void. The clown transport. All right, who's next? Troupe?
The troops.
The troupe. You have to say it in a French thing because they're
troupe.
The troupe. However French people say it. Did you hear the American defense minister, whoever the hell she is, just like bash France so bad today?
When they asked for the Statue of Liberty back, yeah.
The Statue of Liberty back? That was funny. That was a good you be speaking German right now. Oh man, that's funny. Americans and their lack of knowledge of history. Anyways, going back to this, we were talking about Troupe. What do you think about them? I don't use clowns right now, so
I've fought the troops twice now, and I just always found them kind of unimpressive. Yeah, they get a lot of attacks. Not that good attacks.
Not bad.
The dev is nice to plink. The ability is okay. And then if you have a troop master, they do a little bit more. You could do that whole like dancing thing with the transport if you have the troop master.
Yeah.
They're fine.
I mean, you're going to take them if you're playing clowns, you need them, right? So they're going to automatically be situational because that detachment is not going to be used very often. Yeah, they're just all right. Compared to, you get to choose one profile.
I'm not horrified when I see them in the way of like going, why does this exist?
Add one to the wound roll, add one from the hit roll.
They get to pick an ability in the fight phase.
Yeah, they pick one, and then
which you're probably going to do the hit roll just to get more devs.
You can take them with Yanid as well.
Like, she can just does the Falcon let you reroll in melee?
What?
Does Falcon let you reroll wound rolls also in melee? I thought it isn't not just shooting.
I think it says your attacks for the Falcon. So
if it includes melee, that's very nice.
But then you can only take 5 of them. And you're shooting after this model has shot. Select one enemy unit hit by those attacks until the end of the turn. Each friendly model that disembarks from the transport.
Almost always go +1 to wound.
Enemy unit. You can reroll the wound roll. It just says reroll the wound roll. It doesn't say.
Yeah, that's better than most other fire support. Most other fire support is shooting.
It's reroll. It's reroll all wound rolls. So shooting and melee. So that's good. They're all right. They're not nice. Going to break the bank. They're situational, but I'd put them.
The 4+ invuln is funny.
Put them ahead of the swooping hawks. They're more useful than swooping hawks, that's for sure. Vibro cannon. Do we need to talk about it?
I forgot it existed.
It's
what does it do?
2 shots. It's 18-inch.
On the
strength 4 AP 1 damage, or you can take.
You get both.
The vibro. It has a shuriken catapult, but it has the vibro cannon's D6 shots. Strength 9, AP 1 2 damage, hitting on 3s, 48 inches, and it's a whopping 60 points.
Its ability is funny.
I know it's ridiculous.
You can stack 3 of them, just get +1 strength, +1 armor, +1 damage. for each other that made. But here's the thing: it's only gonna be the third one that gets insane.
Yeah, and it's 60 points to do that. So you're gonna be spending. You're spending 180 points to do that for like shitty cannon. It's do not take it.
Well, especially if you doom the target, that could get really funny.
Second last worst cannon, easily.
Second
last
the
worst
best
unit.
Of the bunch.
Second last worst unit for sure.
Second last bad choice.
Yeah.
Or better than the D cannon.
Okay, Void Weavers. It's way the D cannon's better. Are you kidding?
Really?
Yeah. Better than that?
I find it funny. I like the gimmick. That's the thing. The gimmick impressed me, so I'm now biased for it.
Void Weavers. In a clown detachment, you're gonna take them. Haywire's
the picture got pushed down, so now they can't even see what's next. I can move this.
So 4-up invuln. I forgot about the 4-up invuln on these guys. I wasn't even taking the 4-up invuln on them, Anthony, when I played you with them. 6 wounds.
Those? You
the
weren't?
Void Weavers. Haywire's nice. Then it has a Shuriken catapult. So, sorry, Shuriken cannon with lethals and all that stuff.
Oh, you didn't have to take the 4-up invuln because I kept being out of lone op range.
Stealth is nice. They all have stealth. 18-inch lone op is good. 24-inch gun, which means you can't stay that far out of that. You're gonna have to come in if you want to blow things up. And it didn't work. They didn't work for me for what I was doing, but I think they're still usable. I think they're situational. I think they're going to be somewhere like just underneath the Vizark. Put them like they're at the bottom. Because overall, you're just going to take like clowns are going to use them because they don't have much to take. But beyond that, like I'm not using them in Unneed. I'm not going to use them in Battle Host. I'm not going to use them in any other detachment. So. You're not going to see them very often. They're very, very situational. But yes, Haywire is nasty.
Next up is Vipers.
They're also 125 points. Vipers.
It's another unit that I kind of forgot existed.
They're kind of just like meh.
They exist.
They exist. But why?
Did I get the right Viper picture? The Viper is the. It's 2 guys on there, right?
Yeah. It's got 6 wounds. Take Bright Lance, obviously. Oh man. I mean 60 points is pretty good. I honestly rather take this than a Void Weaver.
Really?
No, I wouldn't actually. The lone up is really nice. 2 OC, toughness 6, no. Their ability is subtract 1 from the hit roll. Shooting phase just after the
If you hit an enemy unit there. Here's the thing. Your suppression is better than most other because most others don't work against vehicles and monsters. So you could at least make like a vehicle -1 to hit.
Yeah, so they suppress the unit, they're -1 to the hit roll. You basically are taking a unit that is coming with a Bright Lance, which you're gonna have Bright Lance on your transport. And you're it's 65 points. I'd rather take this than Shining Spears. I'd rather take 3 of these than Shining Spears. Because that's the same point.
You could take almost 2 of these for a Shining Spear unit.
And they're actually probably gonna do more damage. No, they're not good. They're gonna be like put them in bad choice.
Where would you like them?
They're definitely bad choice. Put them out just ahead of the D cannon. They're a little bit better than the D cannon.
Next up,
War Walkers. Remember when War Walkers were really good?
Some people still like taking them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call them awful. They're also not amazing.
Same thing. Like you're gonna pay 95 points for 1 model. You're gonna take a Bright Lance on it. That's gonna be like the main attraction for it. And then your abilities are kind of like weak.
Like, Sundering Armor is good. It's always good to increase the AP of your stuff, and you usually have higher AP already.
But you can take Shroud Runners and just strip cover,
which is effectively the same.
And they're a lot faster. These things move 10 inches. They're clunky. They can't go through walls, right? They're
Oh, they don't fly?
They don't have fly.
Oh, we're walkers. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking of the Viper still.
They're walkers. like no, they're clunky. Like that,
they do.
Definitely better than. I'll take them over like the what's it called cannons here,
All the cannons.
the platforms. If you wanted to, it's like a walking platform in a sense, 10 inches, and it's obviously tankier than any of that stuff. It's 6 wounds with the 3 up save, 5 up invuln. I don't know. Put them at the bottom of B.
They scout.
They do scout, but you don't want to. Yeah, you don't have to get them that close. They have bright lens. They're not the same as they used to be. Nah.
The next one is a funny one.
Kind of useless units to talk about. Warlock Conclave.
Warlocks that aren't characters.
The Warlocks all kind of suck.
Wait, there's still 2 wounds? I thought going on a biking. Okay.
No, it doesn't go on a bike.
Wait, this is the Conclave. Oh shit.
Yeah, this is the Conclave. It's just you could take multiple ones of them.
Is there a Warlock Conclave on bikes?
I'll save time here because we have a lot more units to go.
There is a Warlock.
There's not a Conclave on bike. There's a Warlock on a bike though. There's a Warlock on a bike, which I'll tell you, he's pretty good.
Okay, because the picture I have is a Warlock Conclave on bikes.
No, that's not it.
Whoops. I think that's from the previous book.
You talk about Warlock Skyrunner.
If you look at the picture, it's 3 Warlocks on bikes because that's what they used to do.
Unit composition. You could take 2 of them, the Skyrunners. Like you could take 2 of them.
Sure.
The Warlock Skyrunners, the ones on the bike, you can take 2 Skyrunners in 1 unit. But put the Conclave, it's just bad, Anthony. The Conclave, we don't need to go through their stuff. They're like bad choice. Put them above the cannon. What is that thing after the cannon?
That's a Farseer on bike, I think.
Just put it above put it 3rd last at bad choice.
Yes, it's a Warlock Conclave on bikes, but just pretend it's a normal Warlock Conclave.
There's no Warlock. Oh, they're on bikes?
In the picture.
That's going to confuse people.
Because I didn't realize they couldn't go on bikes anymore.
Put it in there. Just put it in there. They can go on bikes, but it's not a Conclave. It's just
yes. In 9th edition, they could go on the bikes.
The Warlock Skyrunners are really good. Because remember what I was saying again about the Farseer? 14-inch movement. You can give them the +1. You can use them as your like backline doing fun stuff. You can do that with this guy, but for 45 points. And he's not a character, so you won't give up Assassinate.
I just realized something. Isn't a normal Warlock also 45 points?
Yeah, but this is on a bike.
That's what I'm saying. A normal Warlock is 45 points.
Yeah, well, we said Warlocks are dog shit. They're at the
bottom. The one on bike that has an extra wound and double the movement is also 45 points.
And you can take 2 of them if you want. But it's going to cost you more. I would go with 1. Use them as like what I said, go in the back, like 45 points to do all your shenanigans, and you don't care if he gets shot. He's going to get you like, he's going to be one of your what's it called, containments, and then maybe get shot after that. Who cares? 45 points, and he got you 3 points, worth it. Or you can just sacrifice him to the middle of the board and get area denial. He moves 16. You can give him an advance. Goes there. Do you not agree that that's pretty damn good?
It is. I think it's fast, cheap, good actions. Has an invuln.
I'm gonna say, put him ahead of. What do we got there? I'm gonna say put him ahead of the put him ahead of the Autarch. No, put him ahead of the Falcon.
And strong.
The Falcon. Oh no, sorry, the Wave Serpent.
Wave Serpent.
That's a Wave Serpent. Strong. The second one is strong.
I'm going to slightly modify the picture because it's starting to go off.
That's fine. Just put him where he needs to go.
No, the bad choices are starting to go off the screen. You could keep going with it. I'll fix this.
You put him in the wrong spot though. He's second on that list. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of lag there.
No, there's a delay for you.
There's a delay for me. Okay. Warp Spiders. Do we need to talk about this? We know everybody here knows why they're good. They blink 24 inches. You can make them move 26 inches. They can shoot still. You can You can't charge with them unless you give them what's her name, Spider Girl, but flamers are still good. Auto hitting is always good. They don't have dev wounds anymore, which sucks. Anthony, it's off screen now.
What's off screen?
Like the tier list.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was fixing that. Like, keep going. I'm fixing it.
Okay.
That's just how many units are in here.
Objective monkeys, they can go around, do anything you need to do. They can go anywhere on the board you need them.
I don't think I can fix it
now have
off screen.
They now have to roll one for each of their unit when they do blink. So they have to roll on a 1-up. Each model takes, not each model, but you take a mortal wound for each one. But before it was you just roll 1 dice. You take a mortal for the unit. Now you got to roll 5. So not the worst of things. You can always put one on the Exarch if you roll 1. Chances are you might lose a model if you roll a couple. They're still really good. They do so many good things for you. They're not as killy as they used to be, but they still just grab objectives. There was one thing I wish they did better. It would be I really wish they still had mortal wounds. That would be. I think they'd be too broken though. Then people would start crying. They are 95 points though for 5. They used to be. Didn't they used to be 100 for 5? Yeah, so they went down slightly. I'm not going to complain. They got nerfed. Maybe make them 90. Do you agree with that, Anthony?
Make them 90?
They lose devs. Is devs worth 10 points for a unit?
Devs are worth way more than 10 points.
How much do you think devs are worth?
It depends the gun.
I'm talking about warp spiders.
Oh, for them? Probably like 20 points.
So you think the warp spiders should be 80 points?
If they have dev, yes.
Okay. So
just because they're flamers, so they automatically hit. So you're just trying to get 6s on wounds.
So I think 75 points for warp spiders. Agree?
What? They're 95 right now. What do you mean 75?
Yeah, because they lost devs.
But they have insane movement, so they're free. Your secondaries are free with them.
No, they're the exact same what they used to be, except they lost devs.
I don't know. I think they're still very good.
That's not what I'm asking you. Pay attention.
But I was tuned out trying to get everything to fit.
How much do you think they're worth? How much do you think on that unit they're exactly the same except for devs? How much do you think that devs were worth for them?
Make them over 100.
They only got nerfed. They only went down 5 points.
Oh.
They were 100 points and they're 95 now.
Oh, they gained AP.
Who cares? You got AP 1. It's no cover, but I mean.
Yeah, so the AP always works.
Devs are so much better. Devs are
better because they can't save it. I don't know.
Can't save it at all.
I think they're fine with those points.
You think no? What do you think it was worth?
Oh, what was it worth before?
Yeah. No, what do you think losing devs on this unit is worth?
I don't know. It's hard to say because they're just different.
Would you say it's 10 points? How much do you think they lose devs? You're a game designer. How much do they lose in points?
Well, if devs just make a 6 of the damage go through, you would need to make up for that 15 points.
So you think they should be worth 80 points?
With no dev, and if they didn't gain the AP, yeah.
With the AP, the exact same profile.
85.
85 points. I agree with that. Warp Spider should be 85 points. Save me 30 points on my list, please. So take 3 of these guys. They're going to be second on my list here. They're going to go right after the big boys. Honestly,
their movement is just so good. Second, like
they're number 1 in my opinion. They're just not going to be in every list, so I can't say that. But they'll be in most lists. Put it just before Yncarne.
Yep.
Wind Riders. Wind Riders are good in the Wind Rider detachment. Outside of that, they're just very average. But in the Wind Rider detachment, they're really nice, and you can spam them because they become battle line. I like them, and they reroll, and they're very fast. They're 2 OC. You can take a unit of 6. You're obviously going to spam them when you're running the Wind Rider detachment. It's just not a competitive detachment. It's hard to say. Like, they're strong. I don't want to put them in situational because they're going to be used in anybody that runs a detachment, but I don't think it's going to be a very much run detachment. What do you think?
They're very squishy.
Everything in Eldar is squishy. That's not even an argument.
But this is squishy even for Eldar. Like heavy bolters would annihilate them. Heavy bolters, and that's a very common gun.
That's any Eldar though.
I don't know. There's what, 25 points a model?
Yep.
2 wounds. We didn't like Corsairs for being 12 points per wound. These are about 12 points per wound.
But they're good. Their shooting is much better, and they have good things.
They're nice.
They're fast, man. You can spam the crap out of them. They're pretty cheap. You can bring units of 3, and because they become battle line.
So you can take units of 3 or 6.
I would do more. Honestly.
They're very fast. It would be so if you had an army of them in that detachment.
They have 6 up invuln as well, if that counts for anything. But I like them. I think they're strong. I think I'd put them like. Are they better than Shroud Runners? Yeah, they're definitely better than Shroud Runners.
You think so?
Yeah, I'd put them like ahead of Dark Reapers.
Here we go. They're ahead of Dark Reapers.
Yeah, they're good, and they're specific detachment. Obviously, I'm not gonna. Somebody's pinging me. Who's pinging me? That's fine.
I hope it doesn't change again. I don't want to shrink the picture even more.
Justin's just saying Diogo's going to be on stream this week. You guys saw him in the list. He plays Eldar. Plays multiple armies actually. He's going to be on the channel on Thursday. I'll probably play him on Thursday. I don't know what I'm bringing. If he's bringing Eldar, I don't want to do a mirror match because we've never actually had a mirror match on the channel, but I don't want to do that.
We tend to avoid it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's just boring.
Wraith Blades.
Wraith Blades. So obviously we're talking about Seer detachment here. Spirit Host. What's it called? Kenny runs as.
It's probably something like poetic, like the lost soul screaming.
Seer Council. Wraith Blades are okay. Like
the invuln is very nice.
The detachment itself is very mid. They hit on 4s. Of course, you're gonna make them hit on 3s because you're gonna have your psychers nearby.
Bone Singers went to Legend.
What went to Legend?
Bone Singer.
Bone Singer. A lot of things went to Legend. Yeah, they're all right. They have decent amount of attacks. They're expensive. They're 170 points. For that reason, I would put them like situational. Of course, they're going to be situational because it's one detachment that you're going to be using them in.
What does the detachment do for them?
Good question.
Because natively they hit on 4s. They could get +1 to hit. But they also have
you generate fate dice. It's their stratagems.
I like the invuln, especially. And the toughness.
It's their stratagems.
Going down from toughness 7 is a little.
I mean, they're close combat. They're good in close combat. They're just expensive. But what else are you going to take for Seer Council stuff like in close combat? You really have no choice. They're situational because you're not going to see them anywhere else.
Would you ever take the Ghost Sword?
For 2 extra attacks for.
Oh, so I think you were looking at Warhost. Spirit Conclave, I think, is theirs from what he's saying.
Oh, the Spirit. Yeah, it's not Seer Council. It's Spirit Conclave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same shit. Psychers.
Eldar's all poetic.
Your army is within 12 inches of the model. Unit they have battle focus. They get battle focus within Wraith Blades, Spirit Guard aura. Model from your army have the following abilities. Blah blah blah. Add 1 to the hit roll. Add 1 to the wound roll with Wraith constructs. That's pretty good. So you can stack this stuff. So they're hitting on 2s.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the melee ones, I hope so.
Because the ability from the Psyker is increase their weapon skill. So their 4s go to 2s. So they're always going to be
add 1 to the hit roll when there's a Psyker in range.
No, it doesn't.
On their data sheet?
No, I'm talking about this is their detachment rule.
Then yes, it does stack.
So units vengeful okay. They get from your army make an attack that target a unit with one or more vengeful dead tokens. Okay, so you have to have units with tokens here.
Yeah, it does token stuff.
The token stuff.
It's nice. I don't know if it's ever going to be meta, but it's very nice.
So every time an Aeldari Psyker model from your army is destroyed by an enemy unit, that enemy unit gains a vengeful deed token. Each time a Wraith construct model from your army makes an attack against that unit, you get +1 to hit and +1 to wound effectively, and then you have a Psyker nearby, and they're going to get their weapon skill better, so they're hitting on 2s, wounding on
it's judgment tokens
2s or 3s. They're pretty good in close combat. It's going to be, again, it's still going to be situational because this is the one thing you're going to be using it in. Put them I don't know. Put them ahead of the clown vehicle there at the top of middle of situational there, just after Asserman.
After
I think that's a good spot for them. Just after Asserman, they're good. Wraith Guard. I was looking at Wraith Guard. I don't.
You mean after Baroth?
No, just after Asserman.
Asserman's in strong.
Situational. Not Asserman. Sorry, the other guy.
Baroth.
No, CP boy.
Oh, Eldrad. Oh,
Eldrad.
that one. Okay, there we go.
Wraith Guard, from what I'm hearing, is not as good as the close combat boys, but
they lost a lot since their index.
I know they can only take 5 of these guys too. You know that, right? You can't take 10 of them anymore.
You can't take a 10-man that has the toughness 7 that gets to shoot anything they want because they got shot by a pistol.
Well, now they have to shoot the unit that shoots them.
No, they don't even do that anymore. Do they?
I thought they still have that.
They can shoot in a turn in which they fell back.
No, they have a stratagem that they can do that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, stratagem. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Long story short, they're not as good as the close combat guys. They're probably, I put them in bad choice, like ahead of, just after the Dire Avengers. But you're going to take them in that detachment anyways, but they're just range weapons. You're doing five shots. Okay, you're going to be hitting on 3s with a Psyker beside you. If you're shooting a target with a deed, you're going to be hitting on 2s, which is nice. Strength 14, you're going to be wounding most of the time on 3s or 2s. If it's a vehicle, you'll be wounding on 3s, guaranteed. That would go to 2s because you're +1 to wound. So you're wounding vehicles on 2s. It's pretty nice. Maybe put them just after. Why is that troop guy after? Oh yeah, you put him there. Put him after. Put them last in situational.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. They're nice. Being stuck at 5 kind of sucks. Losing their old ability kind of sucks, but last cannons are scary. Better last cannons.
Do we need to talk about the knights? We kind of know both of them are.
Real quick though, on a Falcon, would you take a Bright Lance or Scatter, and what would you take on the Scorpion Exarch?
I take a Bright Lance on the. I take the Bright Lance on the Falcon because you can take the Shuriken Cannon that can kind of do like the anti-infantry stuff. I know the Scatter laser is nice, but I like the Bright Lance because it can go into tanks as well as other stuff as well. And plus, you're going to be popping out stuff with crazy shooting to handle your infantry or whatever else is there. It's just bonus stuff. Knights, we don't need to talk about knights. We both know that. I mean, going through here, what is it? 500 and
435 for the Wraith Knight.
They actually lowered the prices, but again,
they split them and made them worse.
And they're unusable in the good detachments.
Yep.
So
don't take.
Bad choice. I put them in bad choice. Just put them right above the
plane.
Put them right above. Yeah, it has to be above the plane. Put them above, like after the Death Jester or whatever his name is. After the OP Storm Guardians.
You prefer these over Storm Guardians. Now you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. Put them after the Storm Guardian. After the Scary tank there.
I mean, the Wraith Knight with. No, this all just
sucks.
Fine.
Put them there.
This
That's
is
fine. Put them there.
The Wraith Knight with Ghostglaive could The worst.
No, do not put that gun ahead of the knights. Put them ahead of. Yeah, right there. Leave them there. Okay, Wraith Lord, on the other hand, is nice, and he's
Didn't he
140
used to be a
points.
character?
No. No. He's a walker. He's not a character. So, 2 up save, 3 OC. You can put 2 bright lances on this boy. Then you can put either shuriken cannon. No, not shuriken cannon. Shuriken catapults, or the flamers, which I take the shuriken catapults. And then you can equip them with a nice blade for close combat, which is nice. The Ghost Glaive, D6 plus 1 damage, strength 10, AP 3.
Why is
4
this
attacks.
fist so good?
It's the fist.
The Ghost Glaive is just straight up better than the fist, but most other people's default fists are not 7-2-2.
He's an alien mech, bro. He's good.
Why does he hit on 4s? Eldar hit on 3s.
They all hit on 4s because you know what I just told you with their detachment, they get +1 no matter
That's
what.
Fair. I'm just thinking outside of that detachment.
There. Psyker's there, and then potentially hitting on 2s if you go into oath into those targets, which are basically your oath targets. But you got to kind of, what do you got to do? You got to sacrifice Psykers so you can get +2 to hit on everything. Put a bunch of like cheap warlocks out, 45 points, get them like murked by everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I would keep killing that unit with the same unit. Just shoot it with the same unit. Or shoot it with your indirect fire, get it, and it just never shot, and that token stays at the back. Such a bad detachment roll. It should make it a little more easier to get. I think that's a little bit ridiculous for the Wraith guys. But I want to see some Wraith armies out there. I think GW's scared of Wraiths after what happened in
Index
in early 10.
That was stupid.
They don't want to deal with that again. But anyways, he's very good. He's fast too. I would use him in a unique detachment as well. Honestly, he's very useful. Like you can give him the +2 to move. He's moving 10, and then you can put him in positions where he can be effective, and he's pretty tanky. I'll put him in. Honestly, I'm gonna put him in. Put him ahead of the defenders, or put him ahead of the Autarch in tournament standard.
Really?
Yeah, he's good.
Ahead of the Autarch, so bottom of tournament standard, or ahead of defenders?
I can't see right now, so. Oh, there it is. Where's the Autarch? Oh, okay, yeah. We put him down there. Put him ahead of the Scorpions.
Oh, there we go.
He's good.
So
for sure.
I really like his ability because you pick and choose what you're fighting. It's like, oh wow, you're doing infantry spam.
Oh yeah, that's
rerolls against infantry. Oh, you're doing a parking lot vehicle. And it actually includes monsters. So unlike most other anti-vehicle stuff, you could actually do well into Tyranids with him.
You could basically make him your assassin for whatever. You could take 2 of these guys and then make one like tank guy, and then you make your monster guy. It depends what you're fighting, right? You can make both monster mashers. It's really fun, and they're good. They have a lot of good abilities, and they're cheap for what they do. They're 140 points. That's pretty good.
Toughness 10 wounds with a 2-up save. Yeah.
Incubi, Ynnari Incubi. I like them. I tried them out. They're good. I put him with the Visarch. It was a bit of a point sink. They did a lot of damage. I think they were it was overkill. They're only 75 points. They have 2 damage blades, which is nice. AP -2, 3 attacks, strength 4. They're like banshees, but harder to deliver. I guess the best way to put it. And they don't get like the fight first stuff, so you would have to like use your fight first ability if you're playing your need on them, if you don't want to get them murked. But they're pretty good. Like Anthony, they got to your back objective and did some damage, right? Like remember that last couple games on. Yeah,
I really like them for their points, especially because if you force the enemy to battle shock, if they fail, oh, there goes Space Marines Armoric Attempt.
Yeah, no, they're good. I like them. I like Incubi. I'm not going to say they're tournament standard. Like I said, it was funny because I was thinking about this, and I watched Barry Bash, and I saw Diogo took the exact same combo I took, and I was just like, "This, all right, maybe they're good." People are seeing what I'm seeing, but I got them like ahead of the Wave Serpent, below the Wave Serpent in Strong. They're good. They're a good unit, especially for their points. And Ynnari Reavers. Did we do Ynnari Reavers already?
No.
We did not do the Ynnari Reavers.
This is the little Dark Elder Bark. It moves 16.
It does move 16. They're very fast.
God.
Let's read their stats. Oh, the Ynnari Reavers. So
And
quick. 65 points. They have pretty good weapons. Strength, 2 wounds. 65 points. I think it's a little overcosted for what it does.
Can you check the unit composition? Is it bugged?
Unit composition, 2 to 5.
No, below that, the
6.
points costs. Does it say 3 for 65 and 3 for 120?
3 to 5. So 6 of them.
Okay, so it's just a bug what I'm looking at.
So 3 of them is 65, and then 6 of them is 120. So it's cheaper to take 6 by 5 points.
Yeah, and I like their ability.
Let me see something here, because
this is speed. Because if you add 2 to their movement, they're going 18. They're going 18 inches. Their gun's 18, so they have a 36-inch threat range.
Take a heat lance on the leader. Then the rest of the guys just have. Actually, you can, for every 3 models, unit can take a splinter rifle. So you can effectively.
You can take a blaster or a heat lance. Which,
yeah, but you can also take, if you take a unit of 6, you can take.
You're probably going to take the heat lance.
You can take one of those.
And then you'd probably take the.
Haven't even really looked
caltrops. Because Grav Talon, you get lance on your abilities. You get lance on your melee, but your melee's kind of shit.
I say situational. Put them like below.
I like these.
Put them just above Aldred. They're nice. 65 points is nice.
They're not offensive. They're nice. They're not bad. They're not good.
No, they're just gonna get you like stuff, and clowns are gonna use them like
they're fast as fuck.
If you could fast for Eldar. If you could use them in more detachments, they'd be a lot better.
They're just we have so many units in this book. I had to zoom out on my browser to make it fit.
Yeah, it's so hard to like put them all. But I think that's pretty much where we got them. Do I have everything?
This is where you get your screen caps.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would. We have a lot of units in S tier. Shit.
I think you followed a decent curve.
I think put the Guardian Defenders in top of strong.
Really?
Yeah, I think they go top of strong.
Now we have even more of a bell curve.
Yeah.
I agree to that.
So not that many horrible units. We have 5.
We have 5, and there's literally like, why are they in the codex?
5 don't takes, and then a lot of bad choices. There's a decent amount of
bad choice. Like for bad choice, I don't think it'll lose you the game. It's just kind of like you don't need it.
A crazy amount of situational stuff, but that's always expected. I think it's pretty good. Fire Dragons are definitely the cream of the crop. We all know that. I might move Ynid to number 2 there, but I'm fine with her as being number 3. Yncarne. I think Warp Spiders are much more taken across the board, so being number 2 makes sense. Banshees are 100% there. People might fight me on the fact that spiders are there. Scorpions are there.
People are going to fight you on the Storm Guardians.
I don't think they're good, and I can prove it to you. Sticky's not that. Sticky's not. Anthony, what did I tell you about Sticky yesterday too?
Which you were completely like, you saw mid game. Like when you told me that during the game, I just kind of froze. Like, yeah, why didn't I do that?
Like one of the biggest mistakes people make is put their Sticky unit on their home objective in turn 1 before the game even starts. And they're like, well, I want it to be Sticky turn 1, but why? When you're not scoring your home objective in turn 1, like, yeah, you might draw something that you need to be on you might draw a secondary, you got to be on your home objective and then score another one, but you can easily move there.
There's nothing.
Giving your opponent a little bit easier chance to charge. And there's a lot of units now that can get to your back objective. Do not give them those extra 7 inches. You don't need to be on that objective turn 1.
I can't think of anything currently in the game where you need to hold your home at the top of turn 1.
You don't. You're giving them you're giving my scorpions effectively 9 inches closer to you for no reason. You don't need to be there. When you see infiltrate, scout, move back. Even if you have sticky, you just get onto it on your turn, especially if you go second. Get onto it on your turn. Next turn, it'll be sticky when you need it.
Put yourself 7 inches away from the objective so you have the minimum advance roll to make it.
Even if you don't even have to. Just like, yeah, exactly. Like 7 inches is even better, but you don't even have to be that far back. 6 inches or your movement. Just don't give that extra. People will line the building and put their guys in the objective, line the building to be there, to be sticky. And, the only time it makes sense is if you're in a transport like a Venom and I want to sticky that at the beginning of my turn because that Venom wants to take off next turn. Or he wants to take them to go sticky something else for the next turn. That's the only time it would be actual strat. Otherwise, if your infantry unit that has sticky is just going to move up, 4 inches, it makes no sense to put them there. Give
your average sticky unit
8 inches to charge you.
The average sticky unit is just a infantry unit that moves 6.
So and there's no such thing as deep strike turn 1, right? Unless you have there's only time,
2 situations where you might deep strike turn 1, but you know that ahead of time. It's read your opponent. Don't have a generic template for deployment.
And here's I was bringing this up with somebody and they said, well, if I put them in the building like that at the front, I make a scouting infiltrating unit like Scorpions. I take away their movement, so they have to stay 9 inches away from me. But here's the thing: if I get turn 1, that 9 inch, it doesn't matter that I'm 9 inches away. I move 7. I'm going to be a 2-inch charge away from you. So you really didn't do anything.
If anything, you gave the movement from the charge.
Exactly. So I'd rather the Scorpions deploy a little closer with their infiltrate and then move, but I'm far back, so I know no matter what they do, they can't reach me if they get turn 1. So it just, trust me, it's a game of inches, and that's what you got to do. Sticky's not that big of a deal, until it is in mid game second turn on, it becomes an issue. But you don't have to worry about sticky so much. But sticky is nice. I would not say that it catapults that unit into A tier or must take. I just doesn't. I maybe I haven't played Warhost enough. I need to play some more people that play Warhost. Maybe Diogo's gonna play Warhost, or I don't know what he's playing on Thursday. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him on Thursday. He's gonna explain to me why he likes them.
That'll be a nice conversation to see.
Yeah, he likes playing Eldar. He's an OG Eldar player too. He used to play Allotech. Great.
Let me ask you one question then, since we're at the end here. What do you think is gonna get nerfed?
You want me to nerf my own army? That's funny.
Yeah, GW, listen to what he says so you can dumpster it.
What's gonna get nerfed is fire dragons.
Just for sure. It's more just so people know what to start to expect after the nerf, what they should do.
Well, I already told you, right? I said I'm giving you a little hint. The second, and I'm talking to. I'm not trying to name drop and shit like that. So I'm not mentioning people's names, but talking to some of the best players. They're saying, start falling back on your fire prisms because they're going to be used very soon. Which means aspect warriors are going to be taking some hits because GW's watching. And they know what's getting spammed out there and what's winning tournaments and what's being oppressive. Fire dragons are too efficient. That shouldn't happen. You should not be able to blow up a tank guaranteed every turn. I whiffed once with them in 7 games. I whiffed once into a unit that had 4 up invulns. And there was Tau. Yep. And that doesn't happen very often. Like that, Anthony, that unit should have been obliterated. Do you agree?
I got lucky with the save rolls. The thing is, they had a 4 up invuln, and that happens.
It happens. Like someone can just roll 3 or 4 4s ups, and it's very easy to do that, and that's it. They whiff.
But against vehicles with no invuln, it's not surviving.
No. Vehicles have no chance. AP -4, you're not getting cover. I don't care what you say coming out of a transport. When I move 14 inches, 15 inches, would I give them +2 or 14, whatever it is? They're moving in exactly where they want to be. You're going to get no cover. You're going to get Melta 3 and Melta 6 in your face, rerolling everything to hit, wound, and damage. You're done. It's just gone. I don't even need to hit with all 5. I need to hit with 2, maybe 3.
The main gun at least, and maybe 2 others.
Yeah, it would be nice if the main gun hit. It would make it a lot easier. But yeah, and that's saying that it took no other damage from anything else. So
actually, I only need the main gun and one other to hit to like on average kill something if you're in Melter.
Yes, because you're re-rolling the wound roll as well, like the damage roll. So you can, if you roll a 1 there by fluke or whatever, you roll a couple shitty rolls, you roll again. There's bound to be a 5 or a 6 in one of those. That's all you need. 9 damage on 1 dice. Then the next one's going to be like, let's say you roll a 5 and a 3 plus 3 and 3, your tank's gone. You need 2 of those dice to hit on average. So that's too efficient. That's going to be nerfed 100%. Right? Do you agree with that?
The amount of times I've seen them one-shot my Dorn that is toughness 12 with 18 wounds.
Destroy a Dorn 2 times over.
I'm over double your points and you easily one-shot me.
Crazy, yeah. And if you that's why Fugin's not needed. Like, it's overkill. You don't need all that damage. It's insane. It's just like you're piling points on top, like on something that's already incredibly efficient. People are like, yeah, but you get extra range and you get another D6 plus 6, but you don't need it. You don't. What in the game is that many wounds? Like, even a knight is going to go down to like 5 fire dragons.
Tell me, like, answer this for me then. It's like, yeah, I could do like 40 damage with it. Great, but most things have less than 20.
Yeah, my chain lord used to take down 2 knights in one go. Like, what does that mean? It's like, you don't. I'm not going to take 2 chain lords. Like, you don't need that. You don't need that to sink those kinds of points into it. So, use it other way, because remember, it's not a game about killing anymore. It's a game. It's a game about movement and getting on objectives, scoring secondaries. You only need to be so killy, and you need to be.
Yeah. My controversial take with what you're saying there is, dice don't really matter in the game. It's a movement-based game.
Yes, otherwise Eldar MSU spam would not even be a thing, because if killing meant something, Eldar would be not winning, because they're as killy as they are. Like, yes, they can kill things and do stuff. Look at the profiles. They're not that killy. Like, what I have and what I'm using does not do a quarter of the damage Guard can do. You agree?
I think you could do a lot of damage. It's just hard to apply.
One unit can do that much damage. Fire dragons. Like, unless you're taking off meta stuff. Like, people are telling me people are thinking I'm crazy for taking 2 fire prisms. That's off meta, right? Like, that's my damage unit. But I felt my army out. I know the game very well. I played, and I'm saying this is what I need for my style. I need some long range support. Do I need 2 fire prisms? Maybe not. Maybe there's another option I can use. But for right now, I'm going to run a list against Kenny maybe tomorrow with 1 fire prism and see how it is, and toss some points into. I really want to use the incubi. I really like them. They're cheap. Maybe bring 2 incubi units, take out a fire prism, and then do some shenanigans with that. We'll see. But you only need so much close combat stuff as well. Like, and I have a very heavy close combat list, and then I have very little shooting. So, besides fire dragons and 1 fire prism in that list, basically, what am I shooting you with? Nothing. I'm hopping around you. My advice to people that are molding about Eldar as well: don't be so worried about killing them. Get yourself in position. It's about moving. So instead of trying to like shoot things and stay away from them, get yourself in position to draw them out. You're going to kill them easily. If they come out from hiding, they're dead.
And if they don't really get to score.
Yeah. And I don't understand people, like, even good players are saying, oh, I don't like scorpions. They're useless. Like, they're not useless, but they're not needed. You don't need scorpions. I don't know what you're doing to score without scorpions, but you need to get into that enemy early on.
Maybe like, because of melee armies. Like, how well would they do against Custodies and World Eaters? But at that point, you don't charge them. You just walk in front of them.
Yeah, you're still slowing you down. I'm screening you. So
yeah.
You still
Custodies,
have to get through
for example, for the most part, don't have fly. So if you walk in front of them, they'll charge you and kill you, but they didn't get to move that turn.
Yeah. No. It's weird. I mean, people play differently. I don't think you need 3. I'm going to cut 1 unit out. I'm going to bring 2 scorpions. I'm going to bring 2 fire dragons. So I have some points there. And then I might cut 1 fire prism and throw. Let's see. I can do some more MSU spam with some other units, but it's definitely a need right now for me. We have Steven from Battle Ready Games, one of our sponsors. He's a good player. He's running a GT at Battle Ready. I think we're all going, or at least me and Anthony are going. Justin going?
I'm pretty sure he's going.
Okay, so we'll be playing at that one. But it's their first GT. I don't know how many tables he has there, but it's going to be a good one. And Lionel has a tournament the same day, so it's going to be a lot of 40K that day. But what my point was, he's playing a battle host detachment, and he said his list has been pretty oppressive for people. So I'm interested to see that as well, because what I'm seeing is all like you need stuff.
You know what I think it is with the Striking Scorpions? What some people think it's not great. It doesn't have direct feedback on how it screws over your opponent. The main way people get feedback is damage, and they don't do that much damage, but they do the like indirect feedback of making it hard for the opponent to play. But if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not direct feedback, so it's hard to read what they actually affected in the game.
It's really good into a lot of different things, and Scout is always good because
Infiltrate and Scout is always amazing.
Infiltrate and Scout combo is great. Then they have Stealth, and they have Sustain hits 1. Like, there's a reason they got a point increase. They're being used like people that are using them properly are dominating with them because they're good. But not everybody's list is going to stack up like that, and they don't want to put 85 points per 5 models into that because they don't feel like they're killy enough. And that's the impression I get from. That's the real reason I took 2 Fire Prisms is I don't feel that Eldar are killy enough to run MSU without any fire support from far away. They need that. They need it. They do. And Fire Prisms are great for anti-infantry. Fire Prisms are great for anti-infantry. It's not just a 2-shot gun that you have a shuriken cannon and you have the other profile on the laser. You can do 2d6 plus blast. Of course, it's swingy, but you could easily clear chaff off of a unit. Even Space Marines taking AP minus. Is it AP2 or AP1?
It's 622.
Yeah, 622. So AP2. If you can position to get no cover, you're just obliterating shit on.
That's a really good profile into most infantry.
Yeah. And then you have your shuriken cannon on top of that with lethals. You have 2 of those. You can just shoot away from far, and then your other stuff can come in and clean it up. It's nice.
Yeah.
But of course, shenanigans are always the way Eldar go. Nerf Eldar, nerf Eldar. Huh?
Eldar are annoying. I will say they are annoying.
Good.
Well, especially when you're playing Yncarne, there's a lot I have to keep track of as well. Because you have you pick a unit to fight first all the time. You have a better surge. You have the battle focus. You have your stratagems to do other stuff out of phase. There's a lot to keep track of your opponent. You have a lot of interruptions as well. So it's annoying.
What do you mean? What do you mean interruptions?
Like, you can move in my shooting phase. You can move in my movement phase. You can move another unit in my shooting phase. You can keep turning off Overwatch.
Both are at the end.
Yeah, one's during my shooting phase, one is at the end of my shooting phase, and one is during. I don't know. You have 3 ways to move during my turn.
They're both at the end of your shooting phase.
So 2 at the end of my shooting phase, and yeah.
Oh, sorry. One, I lied. One, the reactive maneuver, the one where you shoot me.
Yeah.
And I can hide. That's after I get after a unit shoots and hits me.
Basically, there's a lot you can do during my turn that I have to try to predict, and a lot to keep track of, like the battle focus and the different stratagems. It's annoying, but if you know how to deal with Eldar, they are beatable.
Everything's beatable, man.
Exactly. Some people really complain about Eldar being like,
just after an enemy unit
if you don't understand their tricks, they feel very intimidating and unbeatable. But if you know their tricks, you can now defeat the beast. So
fade back is one eligible unit from your army. So I can move after you hit me, d6 + 1, and that applies to any unit. Yep. Aeldari. Lethal surge happens at the end of the turn.
Yep.
Lethal intent happens at the end of the shooting phase.
And then you have that one where if I kill it, is lethal intent the one where if I kill something it moves?
Yeah, so that's at the end of the shooting phase, and then lethal surge once per turn when you're another unit from your army does the fade back maneuver, it can make a lethal surge move instead of a normal move.
Which is you can go into engagement range with that one if I fall back.
So you actually can't lethal surge, and so you know that, right?
It says you can make a lethal surge instead, doesn't it? But isn't lethal surge just straight up better than not lethal surge?
You can't. I don't think you can do both.
Well, it doesn't say you could do it instead. Isn't it better than the other one anyway? It's just the same as the other one, but you can go into engagement.
It can make a lethal surge instead. Oh.
Discover something?
Oh man, I did that. From your army performs a fade back agile maneuver. It can make a lethal surge move instead of a normal move. If it does, roll a d6, add 1 to the result. That unit can be moved a number of inches to the total. When doing so, those models can be moved within engagement range of the enemy model just triggered. Okay, so that's not at the end of the turn. That actually happens right after you
fall back.
No.
Oh.
The one I just told you.
Yeah.
The fade back maneuver happens after you shoot the unit.
Yes.
So lethal surge happens after you shoot the unit.
Yeah. Right. Lethal surge?
Lethal surge is the. I don't think you can do lethal, and somebody can correct me. I don't think you can do lethal surge and fade back. You can't do both.
I don't think you can, but isn't it just straight up better than fade back?
No, because lethal surge has to go towards the enemy unit.
Doesn't the other one as well? It just can't end in engagement range?
No, the other one you move in any direction.
Oh. Well, it says you can do it instead. Can do instead, not you must do instead. Like, it doesn't say this replaces that.
Okay, so you can move into engagement range. So yeah, you might as well. I mean, why would you use lethal surge if you don't have to? It's the same thing.
I don't know. I'm just saying, Eldar have a lot of tricks.
So what I'm trying to say is, if you shoot my tank and I do a fade back, I can't. You can then shoot my other unit, and I can't do lethal surge. Am I correct in saying that you can't do both because you're instead of doing the fade back maneuver, you're using it on the lethal, or can I do fade back and lethal?
It's when you make a fade back agile maneuver, you choose to use this instead. So I don't think you can.
So you can't do it twice. So if you shoot my tank and I use the fade back maneuver on it, I can't go and surge into you somewhere. So that's a good thing to keep in mind if you're playing Eldar.
It just says. Does it say you have to go toward? It doesn't say you have to go towards the enemy unit.
No, you can move anywhere you want.
It can go into engagement range of the unit that triggered it.
But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes. Can't do both.
So if you have good sequencing and target priority, shoot the tanks first, or force an agile maneuver somewhere where he wants to, like, Eldar player wants to, secure something and move it back. And now I can't surge into you. It might not always be viable. Like if you have a unit that's close to you that's good in close combat and you don't want it coming into you and you're scared to shoot it, shoot the tank first. Hopefully he uses that, gets away. Now you can shoot this unit over here and it can't surge into you. So that's the kind of things you got to big brain it against Eldar.
That's the thing.
Use your brain. Imagine 10th edition using your brain.
This is another trick you could pull against them to try to rein them in a bit. It's good.
Oh well. I told you, there's things you can force Eldar players to do. They have to make decisions. It's not just like they have to think. What is Duke Wellington? What is Lucas pinging about?
I was probably explaining why on WTC she can't use the maneuvers after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll read that after. Anyways, so tomorrow we have nothing, but then Wednesday. Wednesday's tomorrow. Tomorrow we have nobody coming in. Kevin's coming in.
He's good to play now, I'd say.
Okay, so why don't you play Kevin?
He's definitely good on video. Stream is maybe.
Streams are laid back. It's Wednesday laid back stream.
We did finish our game in about 3 hours. And we were, chilling and talking.
Yeah, less talking, more playing, and then you can finish faster. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll have a game. We'll see what it is. Anthony will think about that one. Thursday we have Diogo coming in.
Yep.
Team Canada guy. Diogo's Team Canada. Stutter Scrub. He's teammate with Scary. Good guy. We've known Diogo for a long time. I've been played against Diogo back in 7th and 8th edition. He's a great guy. He's gonna come and bring his Eldar. He's decided it's Eldar coming tomorrow. So he's gonna play his Eldar. I'm pretty sure it's the one he brought to Berry Bash, so it's gonna be Yanid. Yanid and Schneed, and one of you guys can play him. I don't want to mirror match him because I can bring Thousand Suns. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna really get slapped, but it's okay. We'll see what we can do for tomorrow.
We'll see. I have some ideas.
I can't believe how hard Thousand Suns fell. That bothers me too. That's for another day.
They got hit. They got hit by like 5 small nerfs over the course of 10.
Yeah, it sucks. That's what happens when you do too many mortals. You just get the hammer.
Mortals or dev isn't fun.
Yeah, we have a tournament coming up too. We're gonna be playing. It's gonna be April 12th.
That's what you said. Yes.
Yeah, April 12th at the studio. So that we're gonna stream that as well. It's gonna be top table for 3 games. It's just an RTT. We should be able to get some good players out. We had some Team Canada guys out last time. Hopefully we can get Diogo out that day. Maybe Scary can come and play on that one. I don't know what other tournaments there are, but that day. But I don't think there's any big tournaments. These guys should be able to come out. We had Lucas from Team Sweden come out to the last one. We had did Adel come to the last one?
No, I don't think so.
Some War Game Warriors guys. Well, we did have Nick come by.
Redford came, yeah.
Nick Redford, who is he's been the top Chaos guy, Chaos player in Canada for a couple years in a row. He's a great player. In the world?
I'm pretty sure he had World for a while.
No way.
I'm pretty sure
that one.
Because I remember I was like, oh yeah, you're like top 3 or top 5, and he like corrected top 1, but yeah.
No, in Canada.
Was it? I'll double check later.
It's definitely not the world. There's guys that won there's guys that won super majors with Chaos last year. I doubt he's done that. So, but I'm not trying to bring him down. But I'm pretty sure it's Canada. He said. Besides that, we have some good players coming out, and we have the Monday night matchup coming back. We're going to be recording another one, so VTS can be happy about that. Anthony's got to get going with it because we have a game. We're developing another game that we're going to be playing on the channel.
A lot of the rules are made for that. We just got to play test it more. It's mostly just play testing now.
Yeah,
I've been talking to the artist with it. I'm going to go on a call with him probably this weekend.
And we have if you've seen our channel, we have a really nice built studio. We have another studio on the side, not a studio, but we have another set on the side that's fully decked out. You've seen some of our older videos. It's fantasy themed. It's like a fantasy tavern, and we want to play a bunch of AOS and Old World there. So we're trying to get AOS and Old World streams there. We got to start boosting the channel, and we can get a bunch more videos out of other content. We even have Infinity coming, and we have the guys from Parabellum Gaming with Conquest, so we can play those streams as well and get some games out. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
But let's cancel. Let's call this one because we've been talking for a long time.
3.5 hours, and I gotta go have dinner.
Damn. You're going to dinner at 11:30 at night. Nice.
When was I gonna have it before?
11:50. So Anthony's eating dinner for breakfast.
Since like 6:30, I've been here for this.
Why don't you eat like before?
At 5 o'clock?
That's when people have dinner, Anthony.
My family always had it around 8 or 9.
Okay. Before you go to bed. You eat and then you lie down. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's the best way. Yeah.
That's the best way. Just let it sit in your stomach. But anyways, let Anthony go eat. Release the sneed. We'll see you guys tomorrow.